Testing, testing. Is this thing on? What's my sound like? Testing, testing. Is this thing on? What is my sound like? I do have a fan going. I have less fans. All right, there you go. This will probably be for the playback. It's really late. No one's here. But lots of things have gone on. I actually saw, let me see who's here. Tool the Maker. I don't know who that is. Tool. Hold on. Let me give you an Xbox gamers voiceover. Tool the Maker. Wanako Saiyan. All right, welcome, fellow N-word nerds. I promise. Yeah, well, Tool the Maker. If you say it's me, I don't know who that is. Do you mean Tool 123? The artist formerly known as Tool 123? Tool 123? But yeah, lots of things have happened. I actually saw the new Bond film. Never mind how I saw it. All right, I saw it. I went out to see a client, and in their shop, right? In their shop, they happened to have the movie. I was like, well, that's that's something. And so I finished doing the work for them. They're very satisfied or whatever. And they offered me a drink or whatever. And I sat down and I watched the movie with them. And the thing is, it was kind of high quality too, right? They surfed the high seas for it, but it was very high quality, high seas, right? So I went ahead and I saw that, right? The kids who are growing up now, here's what I got to say about No Time to Die, right? The kids who are growing up now with these movies, they're going to have complexes. They will not know what to do with themselves. See, when we grew up, we had heroes who were not undermined by everyone on screen, right? Or if they were, then they were underdogs. So like Rocky, Luke Skywalker, Marty McFly, they were underdogs, and then they overcame all their inner demons and all the exterior villains. They overcame all these obstacles, and then they became something greater. That's not what we have here now. What we have is a generation that's growing up with heroes, especially the men. The girls, they're going to be okay because on screen, the girls can do anything. They're practically unkillable and they're in God mode. Okay? So, that being said, right? That being said, welcome to the Brotep Show.
You, turn around.
You prefer the view from behind?
No, well, yes. You know I can't lie.
Right. So, for all three of you that's in here, if we do get an influx of people who come in, I need you to understand that we are not playing games tonight. I'm not in the mood for trolling. I'm not in the mood for any of that stuff. If we do get any of, you know, any of the slow niggas come through,
like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Right? We get any of that going on. Please, mods, do your due diligence. It's probably 3 mods in here, right? Do your due diligence. Give them one of these on the way out. Right? And you get to choose if they get the door or the...
Yeah.
Denise, what's going on? What up? What up? I miss you guys like crazy. I miss you, Denise. What's been going on? Michael Ruiz, what's going on, man? But yeah. So here's the thing: the kids we have coming up now. Oh boy. This is gonna be something to see what those kids are up to after they watch stuff like No Time to Die, because one of the things these movies used to do, they used to provide sort of like a not courage but confidence, a confidence guideline. That's what they used to provide, a confidence guideline for how young men would approach the world. So growing up watching stuff like, I don't know, Star Trek, right? So you'd end up asking yourself, what would Worf do? What would Captain Picard do? What would Captain Janeway do? What would Commander Riker do? Because those people, men and women, because Janeway was a badass captain and it was a girl, right? It was a woman. So those people provided young men sort of like an interior guideline for handling the world. You want to handle the world with the commanding presence of Commander Riker, with the discipline of Captain Picard, with the analytical keenness of Commander Data, right? Which, it's not to say that you wouldn't look to your immediate family for heroes, like your father, your older brothers, your older cousins, etc. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, since fiction provides distraction and entertainment for young children, and they fill up the bulk of our time in our childhood. Fiction, whether you're reading it from books, playing it in video games, watching it in movies, hearing it in podcasts, whether you're doing any of that stuff, fiction fills up the bulk of your life as a kid. And so one of the great ways to do it is to get messages inside the fiction. That way, the young warriors in your culture, do you have any idea how many soldiers were motivated into joining the Marines, the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, after watching a film like Black Hawk Down or Saving Private Ryan, right? Even though the heroes died in the end, it fills you with a feeling of camaraderie for your brothers in arms and a feeling of patriotism for your country, right? And you know, you want to be a hero. You want to sacrifice yourself for the greater good or for humanity or for your countrymen and women, right? You want to do all that because the fiction that filled up the bulk of your time as a kid, as a child, that encapsulated that message. Now, the message we're getting from James Bond, the previous James Bonds, the messages kids used to get from the previous James Bonds were, listen, you got to have confidence. You got to be suave. You see a nice girl at a party, don't be a pussy and let some other guy. I'm getting that from Cobra Kai, by the way, because Johnny from Cobra Kai, Johnny Lawrence, He has zero filter. He has zero filter. He will tell you you're being a pussy. Go talk to that chick before some Yahoo goes and sweeps her up. You don't want to be a pussy, do you? Right? Johnny Lawrence will tell you that shit. He's like an older brother. Your older brother would have done that shit. But since fiction fills up most of your time as a kid, Johnny Lawrence will tell you that instead, right? So these are the different things that are important when you come up. I'm not like what's the other YouTuber's name? I forgot what the YouTuber's name. Professor Geek. Professor Geek goes into the meta. Not no, he doesn't go to metaphysics. He goes into cultural psychology. And then there's another guy. I forgot what his name is. He goes into the metaphysics. Those guys break it down way deeper than I do. But what I can tell you here more crudely is these characters that they present in these movies, they give you what you need to function in society and to make your society greater. So growing up as James Bond, or growing up watching stuff as a kid, watching stuff like James Bond, no matter what color you are, right, you would get the idea that, look, you got to take charge. You got to be on your shit. You got to be on your game, right? You have to be good at what you do. Practice every day. Work out, right? Especially if you got the James Bonds like Daniel Craig. He's been James Bond for probably a decade now. So a lot of kids, believe it or not, we have kids right now who the only James Bond they've ever known was Daniel Craig. They watched Daniel Craig as James Bond, and he's the most physical James Bond we've ever had. He's not like Sean Connery, who faked his way. Sean Connery and Roger Moore, who faked their way through all those karate scenes. They look like goofballs. Those guys were suave in other ways, like shooting the gun, chatting up the ladies, manipulating world leaders, right? They were suave in other ways, but with the fighting, Daniel Craig, he puts in that Muay Thai, you know what I mean? He puts in that Krav Maga, a little bit of parkour, even though the guy, Daniel Foucan, I think his name was, just kind of showed him up in Casino Royale. That guy was a frog, jumping over all kinds of crates and whatever, right? So you're like, hey, I got to work out. James Bond does it. I got to do it. So you do your little jumping jacks or whatever. Right now, the message that these kids are going to get from this recent James Bond movie is that you have to be soft and sensitive. The world is not kind to soft, sensitive men. I'm going to say it again, this time with less filter. The world's not kind to men who are pussies. So James Bond with his stiff upper lip, right? These sorts of guys, Han Solo, who the only one he ever showed a soft side to was Princess Leia, right? Any other time, he's got that poker face, right? So these kinds of heroes, they showed you how to be tough. All the other nations in the world right now, they're instilling those lessons in their young men. Right now, we are instilling soft pussification of America's youth. We have a vaginified youth being fomented in America. Okay? Emma Watson, I think her name is, not Emma Stone, Emma Watson, addressed the UN and demanded that men start showing their feelings. Now, the internet being what it is, kindly inundated any platform she was on with responses, sharing their feelings. They quickly found out that no, she did not want men to share their feelings. And I don't mean they trolled her. There was some trolling. But I mean men were like, hey, how come when I you say that you want men to share their feelings and be sensitive and be attentive and kind and whatever. How come when we do that, that's when you lose respect for us? Questions like that were being posed in the comment sections of her videos. She did not like that at all. Okay? But we're supposed to believe that vaginifying James Bond is supposed to get our young men ready for the world that's coming right now. China recently, when I say recently, relative in relative terms, I don't mean like yesterday, but probably like a week or two ago, China passed an edict in their country saying they no longer want vaginified men in their media. Now, vaginified men and pussified dudes can exist in their society. They don't have no problem with you, but you're not going to propagate that image so that you soften our young men. Our young men need to be soldiers. We have to contend with the United States. Why in God's name would we want to soften our men? So if you watch the movies right now in China, again, how I watch them and how I get them is how I watch them and get them. All right. So some people who I work with or who I work for, etc., they surf the high seas. And when I go see them so I can show them the work that I've done for them, they happen to be watching these movies, right? So I'm watching Chinese movies. Yeah, VPN in action, Denise. A shout out to you, Mr. MK's Echo Chamber. Now, I've been watching these Chinese movies. Pure propaganda. You have not seen propaganda like this since World War II. They might as well have a poster inside the kid's brain going, Uncle China wants you. Uncle Chow wants you. I'm guessing you guys understand it's like Uncle Sam, like the World War II poster where the bearded white guy points directly at you and says Uncle Sam wants you to toughen up and then, pick up a rifle and go fight for your country, right? I ain't even see you, Denise, you're in the back. Hold on. Let me get you on here. Denise, what's going on, D?
What's up, Protep? How you been?
What up? Yeah, I've been all right, man. Yeah. Lots been going on. I've been, living life, dealing with life, and getting ahead in life, as opposed to dealing with some of the drama in these YouTube streets. I'm hearing there are videos being made about me. And I promise you, I have not seen them, and I will not see them.
Good,
you know what I'm saying?
Like I took a vacation late August, and I just came back yesterday. So,
okay.
I've been ignoring YouTube too. I've been popping up here and there, but very rare. But for the most part, I've been out too. It's nice to have you back. Like I said on your previous video, it's been dry without you.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But videos about you, they're always gonna pop up, because you bring, the no bullshit type of approach. So
yeah, how else can we do it? Just like the name of your show, no bullshit. Like what? Look, life's too short, man. If we beat around the bush and soften things up.
Yeah, it's kind of like this, what you're talking about, the James Bond being another victim of cancel culture. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
that's insane.
And the other thing is another movie I saw. I saw it how I saw it was the movie with Dwayne Johnson, the one where he's in the Amazon or some shit like that.
I haven't seen
it. It was decent. Yeah. You haven't seen it yet? Well, the thing is, what I'm about to mention was seen in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. But
okay,
one of the things that I really have a problem with now with these movies is, and I mentioned this directly on this show a few minutes ago, the undermining of masculinity. Like in these movies, they will specifically show a man taking charge,
Mhm.
and immediately that man gets cut off at the knees. He gets undermined. So
Yeah.
in the trailer for the movie, I think, is it called Jungle Cruise? I think it's called Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise with Dwayne Johnson. That character in the trailer, you can see this. He grabs her by the waistline, right? Doing
Mhm.
the Tarzan thing, where with
Uh-huh.
one strong hand he holds onto a vine, and with the other hand, the other strong hand, he wraps it around her waistline, and he leaps off of the ledge of whatever and swings across the jungle, right? So
Yeah.
that's supposed to be kind of like a breathtaking. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to sweep my woman off my feet, off her feet. I want to rescue her from danger. Like so, then when you raise a boy who becomes a man with that kind of initiative and impetus,
Mhm.
you can't talk to their woman any sort of way. Like you saw how Fighter tried to talk to you how he talked to you, and
Yeah.
immediately Mel checked him on that shit. That's the
Yeah.
kind of dude we should be raising. Dudes like Mel.
Yeah.
But we're not getting that. So Dwayne Johnson swings across the jungle with Emily Blunt on one strong arm, and the other strong arm is holding onto that vine. And when he gets to the other end and he sticks his foot out in order to hook onto the other branch and then save them both, they undermine him. The film undermines him where he can't hold on to it and he slips right back over. And she's like, "This is a disaster. Let go of me." Right. And so
Yeah.
now what's the message now? Now, when you
Well,
have this sort of
the message is that, that's the world that a lot of women want to create, unfortunately. And I'm saying this as a woman. Yes, I am a woman as well, but in reality, it's almost sad what we're seeing
Mhm.
happening today. I understand that there is a sector of people that have faced, traumatic experience at the hands of men. The same can be said at the hands of women. But now
Yeah.
it has spread so much, and it's something that I even talked to Milane and I like a few weeks ago when we were talking about like why so
Mhm.
many people are now coming up with different things and telling their quote unquote stories and doing all these things is because social media has brought so many things into our society that we have had little to no time to study. And one of the things is that everybody wants to feel special. So if I
Yeah.
bring this
Yeah.
if I bring this story about this situation that happened to me, or that this situation, I can bring down this totem of masculinity down and feed it to the crowds.
Mhm.
Then I will get the attention. I will be special.
Yeah.
It's that's basically what's behind it.
Wow.
So
That's
in
what it
my
is.
opinion,
Mhm.
yeah, it's if you look at any situation that has been happening since, I would say, 2008 till today, that is what we have Instagram models. That's what we have influencers. That's what
Yeah.
we have even certain YouTubers, that are just
Yeah.
cloud
Attention
chasing
addict.
YouTubers.
Mm.
Yeah, because in reality,
Yeah.
it's not just attention what they want. People have this desperate need for being a special being, being, somebody that it's celebrated. We have to understand that we are in the misfits era, where a lot of people are misfits, and unfortunately now they have an opportunity to be seen, and that's what gives us people like M123, for example. There's no
Mhm.
way you can tell me that that dude would have thrived in 1960,
No.
where there was
No.
no social media, and he had to go out and build a
Yeah.
world
You have
for
to go get
himself
it.
and his family. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, not even in 1990 he would have been able to survive.
No. Not even.
So to be honest with
The-
you,
Mhm.
it's the same thing we're seeing right now. And because James Bond and his image of being a tough alpha male, that's very masculine, is a go-getter, he gets the job done no matter what. And he has so many
Right.
scars, but he still keeps pushing because basically that's what
Yes.
the sacrifices that come with being a man, but he's not a family man, of course.
Yeah.
That image is no longer, it has become obsolete, and we're trying to shut it down. And in
Mhm.
reality, we're not seeing the consequences of it. Like, the more you keep pushing out masculinity, the world will become more difficult,
Yes,
because
absolutely.
it's men like James Bond that actually inspired the fatherless kids that never had a masculine image while growing up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if
we
you keep
get it.
canceling, yeah, if you keep canceling masculine men from media, eventually you'll keep having uh easily triggered males that are overly sensitive and less balanced, and
It's
we will have,
yeah.
like, a very, like you said, like a pussification of males in mass numbers.
Hmm.
So men right now, I think it are an endangered species, to be honest with you.
Yeah, real men anyway. The vaginified ones, they're a dime a dozen now. You can find them
Oh
anywhere.
yeah.
They're the ones
Oh
with the
yeah.
skinny jeans. Although I ain't gonna front, I bought some skinny jeans myself. But I wear them masculinely. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it's them
yeah.
dudes with the
There's
skinny
two ways of
jeans, the
wearing.
braided hair. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. There's two
And
ways
the,
of wearing skinny jeans.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
You can have the
I don't
skinny
I don't do
jeans,
the
the
thing where you see
male.
my underwear. Yeah.
No, there's the male skinny jeans and the jeans that you just stole from your girlfriend. And we can tell the difference.
Oh god. But yeah,
If you
like
know, you know.
yep. The thing is with these guys now, what's happening is they're not the ones who suffer. When you soften the men in a society, it's women who suffer. Because one prime example was out in the UK. Now you got to understand, not you. I'm speaking to whoever's going to be watching this playback. You got to understand that we're dealing with a generation now who grew up on Buffy. So all these girls who grew up on Buffy, there's a back programming in their heads that make them believe they can drop kick Navy SEALs, 300-pound Navy SEALs across the ceiling. And once you have that as a back programming in your head, you think you're invincible out there. So there's a woman who was on, I don't know if they call it the tube out in the UK, but over here we call it the subway. But she was out in the tube, and some mentally dis mentally disturbed dude accosted her, damn near strangled her, and the two men who were in the shuttle with her got up and went to another shuttle, left her there with the emotionally disturbed man. They left her at his mercy. And when people were asked, right, bystanders, not those particular guys, when like people who leave comments and stuff like that were asked, they were like, look, it's 2020 at the time. I think it was 2020 or 2019. Women can take care of themselves. Why would I endanger myself, for a woman when everything we hear is, all the women independent, right? I can take care of my damn self. So
Oh
men
my
step
god.
back. Men step back, and that's not to say that women can't take care of themselves, but now you're raising a generation of men who make a woman have to take care of themselves because these men are not stepping up. They're not
But you know
stepping
what?
up because Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you know what, bro tip? There, I believe I disagree with you on that one. I'm gonna say why.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
the men that we have in the majority today are just trying, literally making women happy. And I'm gonna explain what I
Mm.
mean. If you try to, and I'm saying this as a woman, and like I've said in many streams before, I used to be extremely masculine and very toxic as well. And I had to seek therapy and, like, come back to what's real.
Okay.
But to be honest with you, when the world is focused on educating men to make women happy, you will get
Mm.
men in their emotions, and men that act based on
Yeah.
emotions uh, malfunction, because
Yeah.
men are not built for that. If men were emotional, we wouldn't have had civilization. We wouldn't have had empires. We would not have technology. We would not have buildings, houses, nothing
Yeah.
like that.
We
Because in
wouldn't have got out of the
reality,
caves. Mhm.
not even caves. We wouldn't have even. We would still
Yeah,
be
we
trying
wouldn't
to
have got
figure
out
out
the caves.
fires. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
in
still,
reality, yeah. To be honest with you, it's the fact that the world wants to keep selling the idea that you can have it all. You can't.
mm,
Men are meant to be logical, and we need them logical. We need their emotions to take a back seat, and it's just what it is. But in reality, we want men to make us happy. And when a man
mm,
tries to make you happy, and in reality, our chaotic nature, because we are emotional beings, whether women like it or not, like the way our bodies work with all the hormones that travel every month, they fluctuate in a very drastic ways. Our emotions are unpredictable. So what today makes me happy, if Melanated Night goes, for example, based on my emotions, and he lives his life by that, what is making me happy today, tomorrow I will hate, because I could get my days of the month and I could feel a different type of way. So eventually men will grow frustrated, because in the male nature, they have this sense of, wanting to feel like they're deliverers or rainmakers, or that they can make stuff happen. So when you constantly are shut down, that you're not enough, you're not making me happy, and men proceed, because they're in their emotions, of course, they proceed to put women in this pedestal and like this, grandiose imagery, that's the purpose of their lives, when in reality we're chaotic beings. Eventually chaos will follow, because chaos is, I, like I always said, chaos is energy without focus, and what brings focus to a man is his sense of purpose and his logic. But when we throw that out the window, you only leave the male energy. It's there, it's just going to go and fluctuate based on your hormonal imbalance, because you're trying to make more, a feminated man. So when he grows frustrated, what's going to come out of it? Chaos. And the only way men know how to produce chaos is through violence. And then we complain about why we're having so many men being violent today. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you follow me on that one, or if it makes sense. But in reality, we as women are redefining, like I call quote unquote gentleman three. Now, being a
mhm.
gentleman is not supposed to be a man that's a go-getter or a rainmaker, a man that has his check together. Now, a man is supposed, or a gentleman is supposed to be a man that, ask you how your day was, and worries about what
Mm,
happened at the office today, or worries about if you got your period today, or if you're feeling down, or if you're feeling, on the side. And in reality, to be honest with you, men cannot focus on that and at the same time go get shit done. It doesn't
mhm.
work. I'm sorry
No,
to
that's not
break
how
it
that works.
to the ladies, but in reality, it's not the way it works. Men have to focus on one thing at a time. And the things that make the most sense is for men to focus on their purpose.
Yeah.
So now we're erasing James Bond, and now he's a rapist. Now he's, I'm sorry,
Oh
an
yeah.
artist,
No.
and now he's, this disgusting image of a man. Now he's like, something to that's despicable and whatnot. So now we're deleting this aspect that, men are no longer celebrated. Now, in order for
Mhm.
you to be celebrated, you have to be a sensitive alpha male, and that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's a contradiction.
Exactly, it's
Yeah.
juxtaposed. You can be alpha and still care about people. Like it doesn't make sense.
Mhm. The
So,
thing is,
and we need those. We need alpha males. Not every male is going to be alpha male, but we need alpha males in our society. They are
and
needed.
you know what? And even beta males, like the guy who just follows orders,
Yeah.
Those guys used to be manly too. This vaginification of these dudes, like it's all across the board. Because even the most beta guy, right? Very shy, or whatever, he has his moments where
Yeah.
he's take charge and everything, and maybe he has a particular set of skills, not like Liam Neeson, but like he has his talents and he has his skills, and when it's time for that, my business partner, for example, he's not really an alpha male. My former business partner, right now he's a friend, but he, he's he's got kind of like you know oh, I hope he doesn't see this. He's got kind
Sigma.
of like
His
a,
Sigma
a
or
whiny
Beta?
voice. No, he's kind of like a no. I mean, dude is married and everything. I don't think he's a Sigma,
Okay.
or whatever. But you know, as far as you know, who he is, he's kind of beta. He's very passive or whatever. But when it comes to things he knows about, suddenly there's this whole alpha energy that comes out of him. Then when it comes time for him to stop doing whatever it is he's good at, he goes right back to being, kind of beta, very passive. Yeah, how you doing? Whatever, right? So even beta males, they didn't used to be like this, very passive and let things. How many times are we gonna see these videos where women are getting beat up, and who's behind the camera going, "That's messed up. I'm gonna put this online. That's messed
Yeah.
up, man. You shouldn't do that." It's some dude behind the camera. Picture me standing
You
with
know
a.
what's crazy?
Mm,
Yesterday on my Instagram, I posted because I came just back from Puerto Rico. There was this street fight that like this younglings, it broke out in the front of the mall, and a
mm,
lot of people were like, "Oh, like why these kids are hitting each other? That's like violence and whatnot." And I had to insert my comment and say like, I understand all violence is wrong, but to be honest with you, I don't see no problem with this because
mm,
in my generation, the millennial generation, mostly the males you see were raised by single mothers, so of course they don't have that male figure, most of them accessible in their life. So if you see our generation, most of the men solve their problems with guns. Now back in the day, kids were allowed to just let them fight, and that will clear the air, and
yep.
eventually
And they
you had
friends later.
yeah, you had 15-year-old dudes that knew, hey, you know what? I really cannot fight this dude. So you have more humble men that knew
Yeah.
that there were things they could not do. And also you have more grounded, balanced men that were less triggered because they knew there were consequences to the shit they did. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And
Yes.
nobody had
Yes.
to
Yes.
die. So
Yes.
it starts with those simple things. This whole, pacification of males start with the simple things of schools right now just not letting boys fight. You have to let
Mm,
them fight. That's their nature. I think we little is known about the development of masculinity
yeah.
and in early stages. So we can't really cultivate it. So I
Mhm.
believe that's where it needs to start. But to be honest with you, I will discount the millennial generation and some of the Gen Z generation from this because unfortunately damage is already done on our generation. People are already
Too
yeah,
late
I'm
for 'em?
sorry. I am
It's
so
too late.
sorry. I know
That
it
crop is
sucks.
lost. That crop is lost.
I'm ruthless. I'm
You
here
can't
with
say
a
that
with
crop.
a I'm here with an invisible machete cutting the timeline. But to be honest with you, for if you're Gen Z or
Yeah,
millennial,
that crop is dead.
yeah, it's just to be honest with you, whatever is done is done. Try to
Yeah, that's over with.
yeah, I think the generation Alpha right now is going back to
Yeah,
basics, and it's thanks to the fact that something I will
mm-hmm.
give the millennial and the Gen Z is that the males in our generation that are of substance and that believe in masculinity are being more vocal,
Yeah,
and because of that, that's
yeah,
what's balancing things for generation Alpha to be more masculine. I have hope that that's what's happening,
yeah, but
you know
listen, here's something I'd like to input into this, which is, though there are exceptions here, because people coming in from the third world, they're not like that they have kids who are Gen Z and stuff like that. Those kids aren't like that. Those kids are still like, you know, they don't you dare say whatever you think you're gonna say to their sister, like in front of them. Don't you dare think like you gonna just talk a whole bunch of stuff and they ain't gonna, throw hands with you.
Yeah.
These kids are coming in and the quote unquote ghetto kids, like, certain aspects of the area I live in, it's a very stark contrast for when you get to the privileged areas. I have access to both sides of the environment, right? And when I get to the privileged side, where the Gen Z of the privileged side of where I live, they're the ones who have been vaginified, right? They're highly educated. They got, the high school counselor telling them you got to get in touch with your feelings, and if they're starting college already, the college professors already got them into gender studies and oppression Olympics and all these different things. But the ghetto kids, the hood kids, the trailer park people, they still have their primordial instincts with them. They still have that aspect to them. So I respect that a lot, that they still have that in them. That's why you see a lot of these hood fights that are online, or a lot of these redneck toothless fights. Yeah, they're very primal. They have their wits about them. I like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
And God.
Yeah, I blame Bill Clinton.
You blame them.
I blame
Hold
Bill
on one second.
Clinton.
Tank Ferret.
What's
Tank,
up, party people?
what's good, Tank? You up?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good, baby.
Oh, Tank is up.
Oh Lord.
I thought you'd be knocked out, Tank. What's good?
Oh,
Did
I'm good,
you
brother.
you good? Cool. How much of this did you catch? Let me remove this image here so for the playback, people know who's here. Give me a minute. Remove
Well,
this right here.
I went to go put a meme in the Brain Cage Discord, and then I saw that there was a post at the front door, and I was like, "Oh my god! I hope I haven't missed the show."
No, we here. We're gonna be here for slightly bit longer.
Groovy.
So did you catch on what we were saying or no?
No. I jumped in. I saw the link, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say hi."
Oh, hi. Well, we were
Hey,
basically just talking about, how masculinity now is considered an endangered species, basically. Now like how they're trying to pussify the male species into this ultra sensitive alpha male. That's like an unicorn, basically. It doesn't exist.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
I agree.
yeah, it's
Uh,
to be honest with you, to me, like I was telling you, bro, Tep, I blame Bill Clinton. And I'm gonna tell you why. I know it sounds stupid, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you look at the history, throughout history, I think this is the times, like after Trump, I think this is the times where people care the least about the image of a president, to the point that we elected like the oldest president we've had in history. But to be honest with you, in the past, the president used to be the OG. And that was until we got Bill Clinton, and he started just, because he got caught up in his scandal and whatnot, which was stupid to me because a lot of men cheat. But, he wanted to please the masses instead of just telling them the truth. Then he started pandering to people and, like, delivering stupid shit and, like, doing stupid regulations and whatnot. And we have snowballed from that to the point that we have now all this "I care about you" type of legislation. And we have things like the CARES Act and the HEROES Act and all this type of stuff. So you have softened the image of the ruler of the free world. So if that image has become more sensitive, what can we really expect from the rest of the country, especially the males in it? What can women demand from males if we're seeing a sensitive president? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but To be
Yep.
honest with
Yeah,
you,
I'll
I
follow.
think it all started from there. And if you think about it, it was Bill Clinton that regulated it. If you think about it, it was Bill Clinton that regulated that with the Telecommunications Act. Basically regulated what we saw on television,
Mm,
saying that,
I didn't
oh,
know.
supposedly we're going to have the internet, so you're still going to have a way to have access to all this unlimited information. And we went from 50 networks to only having 6 today. And now the
Wow.
internet is being regulated. So I'm like, I blame Bill Clinton for all this
Okay.
shit. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
that makes
but
sense. No, at first I thought you were joking, but this makes sense.
Yeah. Bill Clinton and Newt Gingrich, hand in hand on that one, bipartisan support of the oppression of the United States of America.
Mm,
yeah, he's the culprit. Okay, he is.
mm. I did not know that. I did not know all that, or actually, I did not pay attention too much to all that about Bill. And
Yeah, Bill.
yeah,
Bill was sneaky.
yeah, and he had that ball buster of a wife too, who kind of undermined them all the time. Because Hillary was a real
She's a
nutcracker,
pit
man.
bull. She's a pit bull. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's scary, man. Like and I'm sorry because, like I said, a lot of women get offended when I talk about other women, but in reality, we have to call it out.
Yeah.
That woman is scary as hell.
Yeah, she frightens
And then
me,
people
man.
had the audacity to say, "Why you vote for Trump? Are you freaking kidding me?" I'm like, that was the other option.
That's the only other option.
Like
She
that,
would have
literally,
lost to
Hillary.
anybody. She would have lost to
And-
anybody. She would have
Yeah,
lost to
and-
Satan. She'd have lost to anyone.
Satan has a better record.
Of course.
You know?
Of course. I think if
At
Marilyn
least he gave
Manson would have
Eve all
run
that
for office,
knowledge.
they would have won. Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
I'm just, it's like I said, it all started with them. You can see the decay of masculinity after Bill Clinton got caught cheating, because that set the tune for men are not supposed to cheat. And after that, when he started like putting all this lipstick on his image by pandering to stupidity and softening his image and being sensitive and crying on national TV, that was it. It was a wrap for men.
Oh,
I'm under the inclination to believe that the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal was just obfuscation, because while they were doing that, like, we got heavier anti-crime bills, which have locked up tons of Americans who are not violent offenders. Most of these folks are just guilty of doing damage to themselves, drugs, you know? And I'm one of those folks that I'm inclined that your body is sovereign, and until, doctors, medical experts decide that there's another life involved. You know what I mean? That's not a decision for me to make. I'm not. I'm just not educated enough to really call a decision on anything as touchy as that. But
yeah,
like
I don't have a position on that either. I listen to convincing arguments on both sides. Yeah,
I don't think somebody should be imprisoned for attempting suicide. Although I'd rather listen to endless hours of your sob story than go to a 2-hour funeral.
But to a certain degree, look, you're entitled. It's the same thing with the jab situation that we're having and the anti-jab people. Okay, if I want in this nation, if I want to jump off a building, I should be free to do so. You know, and it's like I said, it's the same thing that happens with the jab and anti-jab people. If I want to die from a virus, you're supposed to let me die from it. This whole jab thing, it's not a rollover thing, that because if that's it, just have it so that you can help others. How the fuck something I'm putting in my body is going to help you? Like, it's like I told somebody on social media like a while ago, if I drink Coca-Cola, would you get it on your stomach? Of course not. Then it's the same. It's the same. It's the same thing.
People are crazy.
And when it comes to jabs and whatnot, when I was in the Army, one of the jobs that you can get tons of little side jobs, right, and get qualifications, and so worth promotion points. And I was qualified as a combat lifesaver. It's a paramedic, And when I went to Iraq, I got every single vaccine I could get my hands on. Because what is the
Wow.
point of a vaccine? The point of a vaccine is to protect you,
Yeah.
right? Now, some of those vaccines had some side effects, like it kicked up my allergies to dogs and cats. That's, but hey, that's better than hepatitis B.
Of course.
Jesus.
But
It's better than
to be honest with
anthrax.
you,
Yeah.
that's a decision that you made because you wanted to.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to be entitled to make those choices.
Hmm.
You know
Yes.
what
But
I'm
it was,
saying?
you know,
But it's the
dude.
same thing now. It's the same thing now.
Yeah.
If I want to die from it, I want it to run its course in my body, I'm supposed to be entitled to do so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You
If
know,
you,
and that's the problem we have now in this country.
well, and if you check out the CDC's website and with their updated data, because they took out all the fake data that was being, hyped up. So the 600,000 casualties has been reduced to about 360,000, and
Yeah, because where are all these
for
people dying? I only know like 3
ages
people.
under the age of 65, less than 10,000 people have had a fatality from this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I have arthritis. I am fat, and I'm a smoker. And to be honest with you, I got the C19 and I didn't die, and I got it twice.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
it's like I said, I'm like, I
likewise.
don't understand. I don't understand
The
how
first time,
this thing it's like so scary and like you have to get it because you're putting others at risk. Fuck you. I'm not
well,
putting nobody at risk but myself.
and if we look at viral loads, and according, once again, we're going back, I'm sourcing the government's own sources here. We could also look at the Journal of the American Medical Association, and there's another one that's real popular amongst doctors, and I forget the name of it. But if we look at that, you take a look at what the viral load is for jabbed and unjabbed, and the jabbed people are transmitting. They're asymptomatic, which is great, but for the most part, but they're still transmitting. They're still contagious if they do have it. Whereas the person who doesn't get the jab, they feel, chances are more often than not, they feel sick. And that's the purpose of masking up, so you don't get other people sick. I mean, I've been doing it for years. Like if I got like the flu or something like that, or if I think I got the flu, I just feel crummy. I'm running a temperature. I got to go to the store. I used to put on a mask and I got dirty looks. I was told to remove my mask and all this stuff. And I'm like, look, I'm sick. I don't want to get you sick.
Yeah, that makes more sense. The whole masking thing, I'm pro
Yeah.
mask because to be honest with you, I wore the whole last year except at the beginning when Dr. Fauci said that they were not going to protect you, and I got C19 out of it. So after
Yeah.
that, I've been wearing it at all times, and then the second time I got C19 was because my fiance was deemed an essential worker, so of course he had to work outside, and he
Yeah.
was exposed to someone that was sick, unfortunately. But to be honest with you, outside of that, we didn't got sick till today. We haven't gotten sick with anything other
Yeah.
than those 2 occasions. So it does freaking work. Like I don't know why people are like, oh, they don't work. They do freaking work. I don't care
Well,
what people say.
yeah. Well, it's that you're exactly right. I mean, not all natural immunizations are great, and not all artificial immunizations are great. Like, I guess I have a genetic predisposition towards chickenpox because I get shingles. That's chickenpox for grown-ups. Um, I get it. Uh, maybe once every couple of years or something like that. And my daughter, after she got the chickenpox vaccine, she still got it. It happens. Nothing's 100% sure. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, I'm like, at this point, we have to let people make a choice about their
Yeah.
own bodies the way they see fit. Like, just stop getting on people's, privacy and stop. Like, if you think about it, like now, people that have not gotten the job. For example, I haven't gotten the job. I don't feel like I'm going to get it until more long-term data surfaces, because
Likewise.
I'm like, I'm not anti it. I'm pro it.
Hmm.
I just have to see more data, because people are like, oh, like I've done my research. I'm like, no, you are the research, love. Like,
Yeah.
unless like unless something has been rolled out to millions of people, and we have seen tendencies long term and short term, like you cannot tell me there's research just because they tested it on 35,000 people. That doesn't mean nothing. And oh, nothing happened. My problem is this: it's okay to be pro it, pro
Hmm.
jab, just promote it and whatnot, but don't come at people that tell you, hey, this gave me this reaction. Oh, you're lying. You're a piece of shit. I'm like, look, if I give every American today a peanut, I'm pretty sure out of the 360 something million of people, we're going to have at least a million people that are going to react weird to it. So don't tell me that, out of a job, people are not going to have adverse reactions. It's okay to disclose those so we know what we're treating it. That's precisely what's creating a lot of skepticism on people on how to get the job and if they should in the first place, is the lack of information and the feeling that we're concealing something sinister. If you were more like transparent, I feel like more people will say, hey, I'm going to get it.
I always just tell people, I'm like, look, have a good and frank conversation with your personal physician, somebody who has knowledge of your medical history, and that you can trust their medical decisions, and you can take or leave their guidance, but do check them out for their guidance. They're in the know usually.
Yeah, it's something extremely personal, and then now we have these mandates. I'm
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like if only we had gym mandates, or
Right.
if only, because a lot of people die of heart disease. If
Hmm.
only we had sugar mandates, like you cannot eat this amount of sugar because you're fat, or you're not supposed to eat this amount of sugar because it can give you cancer. If only we had fast food mandates. Where
Yeah.
are those mandates looking out for people's freaking health?
Well, yeah,
If
New
only
York
we
tried
had,
that. They
even
tried that.
Vegas, yeah, with the
It
supersize.
didn't work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, where's that mandate?
Yeah.
That, hey, bring your lab, like your whole full panel lab, and we'll see if you can hold a job if you're healthy. We don't
Yeah.
see, oh, that's absurd. It is the same thing as the jab, as a requirement for people to work, especially in a nation that that 80% of the people work and live paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
It's it's
Well,
it's as simple as that.
it just the mandate is, and here's a big statistic. The mandate disproportionately affects people of low income and people of color.
Yep.
Um, and it's a disturbing statistic. Going to the Department of Labor and Statistics and looking at their website, and looking at the people who are, their work is shut down. Mom and pop businesses are suffering. I went to a Chinese restaurant that I eat at all the time, and they like it was really, really bad. Like the selection of food wasn't good, and it didn't look like it was too fresh, but I'd eaten there many times. I ended up getting the worst food poisoning I've ever had in my life. And
Oh
I
my
wasn't
God.
angry at the restaurant. I was angry at the heavy-handed restrictions put on small businesses by the California state government and the county of Los
Oh,
Angeles.
tell me about it. I'm in LA, so I know
Okay.
I
You
know what
know,
you're talking about. 64,000 businesses have left and
I,
closed
I
down forever.
I have a friend. She is a wonderful, wonderful person, and she's an immigrant from Mexico. And her citizenship candidacy is in danger because her avenues of income potential are being cut off.
Jesus
And
Christ.
I had to go in, and this is one thing I do is I go troubleshoot for small businesses
Mhm.
and help them get viable. And she was doing mosaic tile work. She had the front yard store. I love the San Fernando front yard store, by the way. I'm in love with those places. Bargain City. Like, forget Best Buy. Nah,
Oh
you
my
go,
god.
go if you don't speak Spanish, bring somebody with you to help you out, or look at one of the kids, because these people, they're a lot of them are in the process of immigrating, whether above the board or below. I do not judge, because I
They're
love
both
people who come.
welcome.
Oh, dude, I love people who work. There's nothing hotter. My nipples can only get so hard. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my
And I ain't
god.
no snitch because I don't want no stitch. Uh,
I didn't say nothing.
I saw nothing.
Oh my god.
And I'm troubleshooting. I'm helping her, and really the only thing that was viable for her at the time was her cleaning business.
Okay.
And that was great. It had a good dollar per hour value. She was, fast and very good and thorough at what she did. I even did some work for her, just cleaning on the side, because I was like, I need some pickup work.
Trust me, we're all doing some side things just to keep going.
Yeah.
Like, this is time to be resourceful with your ways of making money, especially, and I don't want to get deep into that, but like, especially since we know automation is like literally knocking
Oof.
at our doors right now. So
Yeah.
it's time to transition into whatever you can.
Yeah, and what really sucked was that her major source of income used to be the front yard store, which is largely illegal. But luckily, thankfully, the police and the city councils and neighborhood councils in San Fernando Valley, they turn and look the other way, because they get good taxes from that.
Okay.
And it helps them. Remember, the microeconomy fuels the macroeconomy.
Of course.
And mom and pop is where it's at. I'm not anti-corporate. I'm just not pro-corporate.
But you know what? I am pro corporate, but at the same time, corporate starts as mom and pop. That's the whole
Yep.
purpose. Like, if you
Yep.
don't have like a healthy grow every 3 to 5 years, like, I don't know what you're doing, to be honest with you.
All right, I'm
True.
back.
And hey, bro, Tim.
Welcome
And
Yeah, I
back.
had to restart the computer.
And even
What
and
up, what
even to comment something very briefly
Yeah.
in that thing, I don't know if you saw what Governor Newsom signed that was going to be effective January 1st, 2021, affecting actually small businesses. Like, now,
Oh
if you
no.
have, that usually,
Hmm.
like, before January 1st, 2021, if you had a company of 50 employees or more in a 100-mile radius, then you will have to pay certain benefits, and you will have to
Yeah.
honor certain pay and stuff like that, and you will have certain taxes to pay extra because you're a larger company.
Yes.
Now, you know what he did? He signed into law that same rule applied to employers that have 5 employees or more. So you have 2 options: either pay it or
Wow.
fire the 5th employee. And that's what literally shut down our economy, to the point that we were supposed to generate 6 million jobs. We have only generated 286,000 as of today.
Ugh.
But we
Yeah.
already kicked out people out of unemployment.
Yeah, that the January 1st law that came into effect earlier this year, that killed major income avenues for me, because that also, if somebody who's a 1099 contract worker did more than a certain amount of work, which really wasn't that much, by the way, you had to count them as an employee and pay them benefits and stuff. And it's like, look, man, I pay for my health insurance for the kids and myself and the wife, and I pay for my doctor visits out of pocket, so I keep my insurance rates low. This is, that's just my regular my physical checkups and stuff like that. And when they did that, the work dried up like magic. I used to do like storyboards, concept design, like little bits of artwork here and there for Hollywood, uncredited, stuff where I'm just subcontract from a studio. I'm one of the nameless masses that work behind the scenes, and like it was brutal, and that affected my family. We're on public assistance now.
Yeah,
We're on
you know
government
what's
cheese.
crazy? But you know what's crazy? When we were saying recall this motherfucker, people were telling us that we were Republicans.
Yeah, and then the Republicans gave us Larry Elder.
Exactly, that's what
too
I'm saying.
controversial.
How is it? I'm like, how is it that you, knowing you have, this, people are disgusted with Newsom. You have millions of people that have signed this shit. I signed it. So
me too.
And I'm not Republican nor Democrat. I'm for myself.
Roger that.
So you have millions of people that are watching this, and instead of you sending your best shot, you give us Larry. Holy shit.
Larry Elder. What
you
y'all know
give us
about Larry Elder?
You
Larry
could not
Elder.
produce. You could not produce nothing better than Larry. And then
Larry
you had
Elder.
Caitlyn Jenner.
You had 500 miles per hour.
You had Caitlyn Jenner running for office. Caitlyn. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, everybody
we're gonna have. Yeah, we were stuck with the same dude, and literally one day after his freaking recall failed, he started right back on with his tyranny, the stupidity, the taxes, the mandates, the closures, everything.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing
Hi,
tonight?
Terrell.
Bro, what's good, T? T up in the house.
Yeah, where's everybody's?
I don't know. I don't think I show up, and you know how quickly YouTube's engine forgets about you? I've been gone for months. Usually, all the channels that I follow, they tell you this personally. Like this guy called Jeremy from The Quartering. He's forced to put up 8 videos per week or something like that, minimum, right? So he uploads 3 times a day, and every single day. So at the very least 8 videos per week, but more than that because he uploads 3 times a week, 3 times a day. He says if he misses 1 week without doing anything, he notices the difference in the algorithm that people he doesn't show up on people's streams or anything like that, or their not ads, but like their awareness stuff on the on their interface. So I've been gone for this long. Don't nobody know I'm here. I'm lucky that the 5 of you showed up. Whoever's watching this, nobody knows I'm here.
Yeah, that YouTube for you.
That's how YouTube works. Yeah. But you know what? If fucking Katy Perry, that's the problem. If fucking Katy Perry or what's that moron Justin Bieber or somebody, right? If they throw up a video, everybody's gonna see.
Baby. No, I'm joking.
You're a Justin Bieber fan?
Oh hell no! Oh hell no!
Run, nigga.
Hell,
I'll never get.
You know what's crazy?
He's still
last year. To be honest with you, I don't care if you're racist. If you bring good music, I really do not care. But the thing is, like, his music is so cringe-worthy. It's like nails on a chalkboard. And you mean to tell me that this motherfucker, The Weeknd, brought us one of the best albums in modern history, okay? With videos and everything. I don't know if you guys saw After Hours. If you guys have not watched that in order, that's a fucking masterpiece. And for all the sound engineers out there that, love music and are passionate just as much as I am, like, we all know that was a masterpiece, okay? And you mean to tell me that Justin Bieber is the number 1 in the world and not The Weeknd? The Weeknd is number 2.
Yeah,
I'm like, that makes no freaking sense.
You know how they do. It's the corporate, the corporate system. So
The
like
dude
YouTube,
had
if
Rotep.
Mhm.
He had
Yo,
blues, jazz, trap, hip hop, all kinds of rhythms in that album, and he did not got a single Grammy nomination.
wow, yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles with these corporate entities. Because most of the companies that give you a platform, they prioritize the corporate people. So like Sony Records and all that stuff. If you right now, if you and Mel put out like a hot song, they won't prioritize you. They'll prioritize whatever the hell Katy Perry's putting out, or what's her name,
Ariana
Taylor
Grande,
Swift or Ariana
Ariana
Grande. They'll
Grande.
prioritize those people. Yeah, because those people have corporate backing.
We had
I don't even
barely
think they'll mm,
we had barely any
you,
coverage with the weekend, but we had WAP. You know,
yeah.
WAP was the shit. WAP
Well, I
was
mean,
the shit.
you like that song?
Hell no.
Wow.
I
No,
like
I
I've
was
said
gonna say
many
what?
times. I to be honest with you, I always give Cardi B her view. Like every time she puts out music, I support Latinas and Latinos and whatever they do. So I go over there and play
Mhm.
the video once. She has my view and whatnot, but you will not find me listening to Cardi B on a regular or nothing like that. So yeah, I saw the WAP music video, but I just that's not like my cup of tea.
The people back
Yeah.
at home, at her home country, I bet you they don't listen to her music. They probably call her a disgrace to their culture.
Oh
But you
yeah.
know what's crazy? We want to cancel 007, but we want to put Cardi B in front of
Yeah.
kids, telling them who to vote for.
Why they want to cancel
Right.
007? I've been watching that my whole
Well,
life.
yeah. Well, supposedly 007's a rapist. You know, because he sleeps with a lot of women, and supposedly, a lot of times it's without the women. Like the women can't consent. So, like, if it's somebody that he suckers into, I don't want to say like he charms into it, right? They're saying that since he tricks the women, they couldn't meaningfully consent because he tricks them because he's using all the charm and shit like that. You know,
Oh, I know.
and to be honest, Monica Lewinsky had just come out and she said that technically she was rapped by Bill Clinton
Didn't I
because
just told you? Didn't I just told you that everything started with Bill?
it was Bill, right?
It's Bill.
Yeah.
Bill messed things for you guys. I'm not
Mhm.
even
Bill,
joking. It was
yeah,
Bill.
Bill's a fuck up. He screwed up all that shit. But supposedly because he's the most powerful man in the United States at the time that he took the blowjob in the Oval Office, she could not meaningfully consent because due to the power imbalance, because she's just a lowly intern and he's the most powerful man on earth as the president of the United States.
Now, can I ask you
So
something, real Tip?
therefore she was wrapped. Mhm.
Can I ask you something? Do you think she would have done that, like the whole blow job and the dress and all that, if he was a mechanic?
Right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you won't do that for a mechanic, don't come at me with the R word. You did that because
Yeah.
you wanted power, you wanted money, you wanted the
Yes.
clout, and that's the thing with certain ladies that we're seeing today. You're not charmed into nothing, you're not lured into anything. You were looking for a specific man. He probably did not give you what you wanted, and now you're salty.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy. Like, I'm so, even this shit
The-
even happened to Placido Domingo, one of the biggest tenors we have in opera, and trust me, I'm a
Mm.
long-term fan. And I'm like, I understand now why Pavarotti probably passed away in
Oh.
2007. Imagine if he would have gotten caught up in this shit. At
Mm.
this point, I wouldn't be surprised about that. We have canceled so many different males based on
Yeah,
this
I mean they're
whole
canceling dead
rhetoric.
people. They're canceling dead people. They
Yeah.
canceled John Wayne. John Wayne's been dead since what, the 80s? Since When did John Wayne die? Because I
I
distinctly
don't
remember
know
he.
what age,
Let me
what
research.
year.
Yeah, let me look up when John Wayne died real quick. Because I distinctly remember I was reading something recently about
He died
diet,
in
different
1979.
kinds of destructive diet.
He died in
1979.
19.
So
Yeah.
I was 1979. See, I
I
was
wasn't
looking up
even
1979.
different kinds.
born.
Yeah, and I was looking up different destructive and productive diets, like the keto diet, and the what do you call it, the paleo diet, and all that stuff. And one of the articles I came across was John Wayne, that they opened them up and found something like 40 to 80 pounds of red meat undigested in his stomach. So
Jesus Christ.
yeah, that was something. But along with how the internet works, the internet thinks it knows what you like because you looked up one thing. So they threw up a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, he's getting who's who's getting a call.
Oh,
That's
Terrell.
me.
Terrell's
Or
talking to his girlfriend.
Terrell's boo loving on the phone right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So the the article came up, or was it an article or something like that? Or no, not a documentary. It was probably an article, most likely, or maybe it was a clipping from social media that John Wayne is getting canceled because he said something extremely racist back in 1975 Playboy interview or something like that. Right? The guy grew up. He grew up in the 40s. Who knew that he'd have some real not so progressive outlooks on life?
Jesus
Why
Christ.
why are you gonna dig him up so you can cancel him? They
At what
canceled.
age he died? At what age did he die?
I'm not sure, 60s maybe,
Oh,
60s,
he was in
70s,
his 60s. You
something
see,
like
this
that.
is this is the thing. He didn't live in the same era. Like we didn't have the same environment when he
No.
was growing up. He comes from a different generation. And
Hmm.
it's the same thing when like people dig stuff up from like 15 years. You said the N word 15 years ago, motherfucker. You know that people grow and mature. We don't
You know?
stay the same. You said it 15 years ago. You mean it.
Mm.
You're sexist. You say something about women 17 years ago on Facebook. I can see it. I'm like, people can't change. Like, what the hell? And then they have to apologize. That's what I said. I'm like, I don't know why. Like, what is worse, if the cancel culture or the people that apologize to it? Like, the internet will remain undefeated. Okay, like I don't care how many times you apologize. Don't fucking apologize to nobody. I wouldn't apologize for shit I'm
Mhm.
saying. It's just how it
But,
is.
especially yeah, especially these ultra political people, like who are on Twitter. See, it's one thing. Let's say I said something extremely racist, misogynist, homophobic, whatever. If it's to a real person I said it, I'm gonna apologize, right?
Yeah.
But if it's to these nut jobs, like when Elliot Page changed what his name was
From
to the
Ellen
name that
Page.
he is now, right?
No.
I gave him the respect that it deserves. I gave him his proper respect, and I didn't dead name him, right?
Yeah.
But it's when these psychopaths off fucking Twitter came at me because I saw on Twitter that they were retconning all the movies Elliot Page was ever in to remove. I mean, if you didn't get a hard copy of the DVD of that movie Juno, you
Hmm.
asked out, because if it's a digital copy, the name will read Elliot Page. They have erased history like the shit never happened. So I
But you
voiced a
see,
concern. Mhm.
that's the problem that I was telling you before, is the need, like, all of these things, like people coming out as queer. And don't get me wrong, I support the alphabet community. I have friends
Hmm.
that
Yeah,
have
me
become
too.
my family from that community. I love them and I will defend them to death for the rights that they have to exist. Now, my thing
Mhm.
is, like, I don't have the time nor the interest in learning the intricacies of certain individuals and their traumas. Like, if I don't know your gender, or I don't know how you, like, the whole names of how you identify, like, I'm transsexual, pansexual, non-binary,
Yeah.
queer, lesbian. Like, if I don't know like your whole pronouns and shit,
Yeah.
like, who gives a shit? Like, I
Yeah.
don't even
See,
understand half
listen.
of that, and I don't even want to study that right now. I'm busy.
Yeah. I'm back on Facebook, right? But one of the reasons why I left Facebook for two reasons. One, they were asking for state ID and all kinds of crazy shit. Prove to me that you are who you are. I said, fuck you, Facebook. You're not gonna give my information to whoever, because when you sign that, that little thing, you gotta click the checkbox. I
Yeah.
I have read this
Have
and
you
I
read it?
agree. Yeah, I've
Have
read
you
that
read it?
shit. And supposedly, yeah, I've read it. And supposedly, whatever it is you put on there, they have the right to do
They
whatever the fuck they want with it.
they have the right
Include,
to share with authorities,
hmm with
and
the
you will have a hate
authorities.
crime. Yeah.
Yeah. And not only that, but pertaining to me specifically, business as well. So I can have my characters, right? I design, work hard on my characters, and then Disney buys stock over there or whatever. And then now there are some ways they have rights to my shit. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. So that's one reason why I didn't really fuck with Facebook like that. Second reason was I went there to make a new account, and it asked me, what gender are you? Male, female, and then
Prefer not to
there
say.
was an other, and then there was a downwards arrow for other. I'm like, why is there downwards arrow for other? And I don't know if they still have this shit, but you will not believe the Walmart receipt length of lists of names: two spirits, trigender, blah blah blah. I was like, who's gonna remember all this shit?
That's what I'm
So
saying. It's a need. It's a massive need. The more, we only have what, half of the population on the internet right now.
yeah,
Like, imagine half of the world's population and everybody wants to be special. Imagine all the shit that you will create and spread around. Like,
yeah,
we
but
have now race gender people,
mhm.
you know, trans race, I'm sorry. Trans race
Yeah,
people, like, if I was okay, I'm Afro Latina, but now I want to be a Karen,
yeah,
and I'm white, and I'm going to bleach my skin and wear contact lenses and dye my hair blonde. And
hmm,
you better call me white, bro tap, because if not, I'm going to have a meltdown, bro
yep,
tap. Okay, I am
hmm,
Karen now, not Karen, Karen.
Karen. And if I don't
Okay.
address you as such, now there's a hate
That's a
charge.
hate crime, okay?
Yeah.
You're supposed no, and the phrase that I love on the internet that always cracks me up. Let me educate you.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Ooh, I
Oh my
love that
God.
one.
Or
Trust me.
if you ask them a question they can't answer, why don't you go educate yourself?
Oh my god.
I'm not undertaking the emotional labor of explaining things to you. Well,
Yeah, it's
excuse
like I'm
me.
saying, I'm like, you have to explain us shit. You don't have the right to get mad. You have literally, if you have such a complicated existence, you have to explain it to the simple folk. You have to explain your greatness to us, because otherwise I don't have the time to research it and I don't want to. But I'm respectful enough to, honor your wishes. I called
Yes.
Caitlin,
Hmm.
but she made it known. Like, you can't expect me to be like, oh, they called me. There was a lady that insulted me and I got in the doghouse of Twitter again for the 5th time in the last year and a half because a lady called me whorephobic.
What?
And I'm like, how can you be a whore? I'm not scared of whores.
What do you mean,
Like,
whorephobic?
yeah, I'm like, oh,
Never heard that one before.
I'm like, I'm not scared of prostitutes.
Yeah,
like,
what
no.
am I hearing?
What? I'm like, is that a term? Like, I was not aware of it. I was like, what's that? And then Twitter told me, like, you can post this comment because your account has been placed on timeout. And another 12 hours of non-existent Twitter. You know, like, it has happened to me several times. There was even a Jay that tried to do that to me. And he was like, oh, he tagged Twitter. He was like, Twitter, last year when I was just talking my opinion. He was like, Twitter, she's like spreading anti-Semitic, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I said, Twitter, this is a male insulting an Afro-Latina woman. This is sexist. I did the same thing to him. He got upset. Because I was like, you see just how ridiculous you sound. Like, I can do, everybody has a card. I have a woman card. I have an Afro-Latina card. I have a Latina woman card. I have an immigrant card. You know, everybody has a freaking card that they can use today because everybody wants to feel special. It's up to you to take it out of your wallet. You know, if you don't have the need to feel special, you don't have to use your card anywhere. But there's a lot of people that love to pull out their cards out of the wallet. Let's see who has more, you know?
Well,
and if I don't have enough, then I will produce or imagine a new card just so I can have more than you do. That's how I see it.
yeah, well, you know, I've only got the veteran card and this 50% discount on Froyo. Oh, wait, I checked the back of the card. It says honky. My bad.
Oh my goodness.
Rude, crude, socially unacceptable, and damn proud of it.
There's a lot of things. I'm telling you, this society, I don't know.
All these people out their fucking minds. They
But you
tried
know
to
what?
Catwoman.
You gotta love them. You gotta love them for being creative. You know, it's just something.
That's my
it's just
Catwoman.
so
Bring my Catwoman back.
They
That's
dug up the
sexist.
corpses of 3 dead people.
That's
3 people
that's
who are
sexist.
dead. They're dead for how long? I don't know how long these people have been dead. Eartha Kitt's dead. Paul Newman's dead. And James Dean are dead. Apparently, when they were alive and in their prime, those 3 legally aged individuals decided to have a threesome. How is that any of our business? They
not.
brought that up on Twitter, and people were legit deciding whether these people should be canceled or not. All these different things came into it. Did they take advantage of her? Because, you know, at the time there was a lot of racism and sexism, and she could not meaningfully consent to a threesome with 2 white men.
Jesus Christ.
They brought into, well, James Dean was bisexual, and, you know, as an aggrieved minority, bisexuals who are part of the LGBTQIA plus left back up down, you know, Hadouken community.
ABA select start.
West East.
You know, he could not meaningfully consent because Paul Newman is a straight heterosexual white male. He had all the power. Like they went through all of this on Twitter.
Yeah, they're doing
Right?
oppression porn now. Like,
Yeah, it's oppression porn.
Yeah, it is. It's basically they're having like this, you know, imaginary narratives in their heads of what they presume happened. Like, we have no fucking way of knowing. You know,
Well,
it's like the same thing.
And either way, it's none of our business.
That's
Like,
that's what I was going. It's like this whole thing, like, it goes back, like I said, it all starts with one person and then it snowballs into bullshit. Like, it all started with Britney Spears. Like, look at her case, for example. I'm not saying Britney Spears is saying that bitch is crazy. But let me tell you something. We made her crazy, okay? Like, we made her that way. Let her be crazy in peace. I enjoy her craziness. It's funny. You know, the raccoon eyes and all the flips that she be doing on Instagram is fucking hilarious. I believe that she should
Yeah.
spend her money doing whatever clownery she pleases. Now, my
Yeah.
thing is that the reason why Britney Spears went crazy is because you have this girl that grows up in the spotlight, and all of a sudden, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, and her get exposed to this new way of making money in Hollywood, which is, let me tell you your latest update on what exactly Britney Spears is doing with her vagina today. You know, and they started the whole tabloid thing exploded massively with Britney Spears, and even on the internet. That's what the internet did to Britney Spears. And a lot of things were printed out, and people just continued to comment on it, repost it, create memes and whatnot. Britney was not. It's something that my therapist said like a while ago to me. When, like, if we prepare people for circumstances, we won't have mental health issues because you will know what to expect. But when you're hit with the unexpected, that's when you crack. She didn't expect that because that did not existed. You know, that's why I believe we should allow her to be insane. She earned that right because we gave her something we haven't given nobody before her. You know. So it's the same thing now when we're trying to get into. She did. I love that crazy woman. I'm like, let's be crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And to be honest, her crazy antics could be her way of coping with all of this nonsense. That, do you know what kind of demonic? You know what? Let me not. I was gonna mention the corporation that she worked under and grew up under, that is responsible, in my opinion, for her insanity. But that corporation swallowing up all the companies dealing with art, and I ain't trying to fuck with my money, so I'm gonna stop right there. I ain't gonna say nothing else. But I think this is her way of dealing with coping with whatever the hell that corporation and her family members who are now trying to control her. What is it? Her dad tried to have her committed and wants to be her guardian or something like that.
Yeah,
Right?
no,
And she's
Yeah.
like,
she's
no, I
in a
can take care of myself. And
conservatorship. She's in a
that
conservatorship.
thing.
Nobody her age has ever been in a conservatorship. That's for like old people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
legit
no,
old
he's
people, or mentally, not even mentally ill, but like old people that can't take care of their money or their estate or nothing. I'm like, Britney earned that right. You know, we gave her a lot of shit.
Yes.
You know, it's
You
just
know,
how it is.
look, everywhere she turned, this girl had to deal with bullshit. She tried to date like her background dancer, right?
Mhm.
Who knew that, that she's dealing
K-Fed?
with some racism at home? Oh, no, not K-Fed. Well, it always sounds like some sort of fucking cereal. Why can't he get a normal name? When these pop stars want to, no, when these pop stars want to get into the, what's trendy, they always go goofy, like K-Fed. What the fuck is whatever?
Pop
But
culture is hilarious to me though.
yeah, like it's yeah, pop these pop culture people, man. Like even Usher, who's a little bit more steeped into hip hop than they are, right?
Mhm.
Even he like has some of his stuff is goofy. Like, look, if you're not hip hop, you're either hip hop or you're not. If you're not, stop trying to tap into urban culture. Your
Yeah, it's kind
pop
of like
music.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah,
It's kind of like Justin
JT.
Timberlake. Yeah.
JT, just come on, man. Like,
No, when he started
ah.
dancing, like you remember when he started dancing when he was with Timberland and stuff, and he was dancing. I'm
Yeah.
like, that don't look right. Something in there doesn't look right.
Something don't look right about that, JT.
Yeah, something
You know,
something
but
don't look right, bro.
he evolved though. He's doing movies. I mean, I don't know what he's doing these days, but last it was he did a couple movies that were decent. Like there was one where like you could see the numbers of whatever age you got left, right? And then you could give your numbers to someone else if you want them to live longer, that kind of thing. So that was a decent movie.
it was a fun
So,
movie. I like the concept.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was fun.
I like the
Yeah.
high concept stuff. Yeah,
Hmm.
you know. But what was not high concept was this latest James Bond movie. That was not high concept at all. It's everything that we've seen everywhere else. They threw in this, and they were like, "Behold, a killer virus. Really? Behold, a scientist on the run. What? Behold,
Yeah,
a
it's like
spy betrayed by the one he trusts the
ignore
most.
ignore
What?
the fact ignore the fact that this might look like Mission Impossible 2
Yeah,
and
that's Mission Impossible too.
17,000 other movies. Yeah, it's
Seventy-
like so
You know what it
retarded.
was? It was distinctly Mission Impossible 2. You hit the nail right on the head. It's basically Mission Impossible 2, and then the French
Yeah,
woman
but just
is
in
basically
4K.
yeah, Tandy Newton. Yeah, she's sh- Tandy Newton was the woman in Mission Impossible 2, and then this new French lady, But yeah, they tried to float it out there. I'm like, come on, man. Nothing here is new. With the car, with the Gatling guns coming out the holes. Yeah, we've seen Death Race 2000. What was it with Jason Statham? There was nothing substantial in that film. All right. And then the replacement they gave, instead of retiring the jersey like they did with Mike, like they ought to, they passed the fucking number of 007 to somebody else. The disrespect, if I was James Bond, I would sue MI6 for the disrespect. Like, you gonna retire my shit once I retire. Like, once I'm not doing this no more, can't nobody else be 007. It's just, that's not a thing. You ain't gonna do it.
But that's the narrative. Remember when we talk about canceling
Yep.
masculinity, and now the woman own masculinity.
Yeah, she was, to be honest, I'm a little biased because I got a crush on Lashana Lynch.
It's not her fault.
I think she's
it's
hot.
not the actress' fault.
Yeah, it's
That's
not her
the
fault. It's
thing.
not her fault. It's good. I think she's hot, and in the film, she's not nearly. See, part of the problem with this film is that they allowed the trailer company, the company that did the trailers, they allowed that company to drive the narrative for the film's promotion. So then we began to believe that what's in the trailer is what's waiting for us when we go see the movie. And that could not be further from the truth. Lashana Lynch's character was nowhere near as irritating as they put her or made her seem in the movie. I mean, she did say some kind of screwed up thing to him. Like, the only thing that she said to him that was kind of screwed up is that I'm going to put a bullet in your knee, the one that works. I was like, yeah, that's no, even Negan from The Walking Dead would be like, ooh, jeez.
No, but she's gonna get the job done, bro. Tep, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
You know,
but
I hate. Let me. Sorry
Yeah,
to
go ahead.
cut you off, but don't
no
you
problem.
hate
Go ahead.
this whole let's make the female version of this type of movie? Like, I am so
Oh yeah, it's just getting
tired
started
of
too.
that. Like, I am tired of the Ocean's 8. I
Oh
enjoy
God,
the
Ocean's
Ghost.
Ocho.
I
Well,
enjoy.
you're the market. How could you be tired of it? You're female and
Oh, no,
Hispanic.
no,
You know they were
no.
aiming it towards you, right?
Ooh, let me tell you
You were the
something.
market.
I
You remember
know.
the first name for it was Ocean's Ocho. Did you catch that? They floated that out for
Yes.
like 1 week over on Twitter. They called it
But you
Ocean's
know what's
Ocho, had it
crazy?
trending on hashtags, right? Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? We don't watch that type of movie. To be honest with you, your biggest consumer of action movies and superheroes and stuff like that, it's males. It's like the same thing with like Wonder
Yep.
Woman. I am so sorry, but I have to vent, okay? As a woman, I do not feel represented with Gal Gadot because there is no way in fucking hell that a woman so skinny and bland can save the world and be so freaking powerful, more powerful than men. I am so sorry, but like, you have to bring it. If you would have put Serena Williams, I might believe you.
Yeah.
She looks strong. She looks scary to me. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Oh, Gina Carano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But if you look,
No.
every time we get these
Gina Carano.
superheroes, yeah, Every time we get these superheroes, we get the skinniest,
Listen.
lamest bitch in the universe. And then we say, I
Mhm.
want equal pay. Look, equal pay is supposed to be, you're supposed to get paid if you do the same work men do. And your male
Yeah.
counterparts are putting on 50 pounds of muscle mass into their bodies to look
You
hot
feel
and
me?
sexy without a shirt. You're not. Like, how do
Mhm.
you expect to get paid the same? And then we say, oh, don't sexualize me because I don't have boobs and an ass. Well, you're sexualizing the same superhero man
Mm.
without a shirt. Oh, he's
Yep.
so hot. Oh my God, look at those arms. I'm like, the double standard has gotten real. You know,
Man,
Yeah.
for
and I
like
don't
an
even want to go
hour,
down that path.
something like 60 minutes to maybe an hour and a half after I left the Joss Whedon version of Justice League, my eardrums were still ringing. It's from the middle-aged moms in the theater. Every time Jason Momoa is on screen, and the thing is, it was stereo because I had one to the left of me and another middle-aged mother to the right of me. And whenever Jason Momoa came on screen, I learned my lesson pretty quickly and cupped my ears. But if men do that with a woman on screen, then it's a problem. They were trying to float out the idea that because men are not what's the term they were looking for? They said that men are not marginalized by how they look in society. Therefore, when men get sexualized, it's okay. It's okay because we don't judge men by how they look. It's superfluous when we say, "Oh, that guy has a nice pair of abs." We're not judging his whole career by it, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's kind of weird that they would set these double standards. But it is refreshing to hear a woman say this stuff because if we say it, like I noticed Tank's pretty quiet. I don't know if he left or nothing, but
I'm here. I'm
if
here.
okay, if people like me and Tank, because we're in geek culture, not to exclude you, Terrell, but
I'm
me
still
and
here.
Tank, yeah, I'm saying like it's not to exclude you. It's that I mentioned Tank because Tank and I are the ones who are on the periphery of this geek civil war. There's a nerd civil war going on, and we're the ones at the edge of that shit, and sometimes involved in that shit. And
Hmm.
if we say anything about a movie that involves a woman, suddenly our name is trending. This guy does not like women. This guy hates women. He hates strong
Yeah.
women. He hates
Oh,
independent women.
they tell me those things too. I've had my encounters with
Yeah,
these ladies
they
that
would
tell me
call
that
you a
I'm
pick me.
misogynistic.
Yeah,
I'm
or a pick
like,
me.
I'm a pick Misha or a
Yeah, pick
mommy,
Misha.
and no, like the Twitter bitch that told me that I was whorephobic, like I'm scared of whores. You know, like
Horphobic.
I've been called
Well, I
all
mean, they
kinds of
do have
stuff.
the slut walk. They have the slut walk thing. So I mean, I never thought. First time I heard about the slut walk, I was like, huh, that's interesting. Maybe it's a parody. Maybe they're parodying something. No, it's legit. Slut walk. They're proud to be sluts, and they're like, and they have like they paint it on their breasts. Still not asking for it. Is this part of a sentence that like did I ask you a question and that's the answer? Like,
Yeah, it is. Oh Lord, they want to
and
be
apparently
special,
it's
bro. Tip.
no. I mean, supposedly it's the answer to when guys supposedly say, "Hey, maybe you were asking for it by being naked in front of your rapist," right? These sorts of things. But in my opinion, I think everyone hates rapists. You
Well,
know,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
Hopefully.
um, the they tried to float out the rap culture thing, the rapist culture thing,
and
and
I
I'm
understand that, but like if we as women, we can't be this disingenuous. Like if we don't want to be sexualized, we need to stop using our bodies to get what we want at the same time. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but
yeah.
Like, why we have
Absolutely.
to use, like, oh, we want woman empowerment. We don't want to be sexualized, but I want to be twerking my ass on your face on a music video. Like, that's not empowerment. I'm the owner of my body. Don't you dare look at what you like
Eh,
about my body, because then you're a pervert or
yeah,
deviant and disgusting.
you're objectifying me, and you're a perv.
Yeah. I'm like, that makes no sense. You live outside of reality, lady, and you need therapy and an exorcism. Like, legit.
We need an old priest and a young priest.
Oh, Lord.
What
They're
the
crazy.
hell? The let me see. We had at least on this channel, we had kind of like a comeback stream, and our favorite boxer showed up. And supposedly he's made videos about me afterwards. After he showed up, he didn't like that I called him a failed boxer. It was just a burn. It wasn't nothing personal. But suppose and someone who had nothing to do with it, like Rad, he made a video about Rad too, which is kind of weird.
He has made videos
YouTube,
about everybody. He
why?
made videos about me, calling me you're a bitch. You're a bitch. And you bitch. And then
Like,
you're a fat bitch. And you're
oh, we're all
a
fat now. Yeah, yeah.
bitch.
That's the
And
other
I'm
thing. We're all
like,
fat
and
now.
I'm like, but this is my thing. I'm like, bruh, for the fat YouTubers like myself, we know we are fat.
Yeah.
You
But,
know,
but the thing is,
but
you're
this is
not
the
even
thing.
fat. You're like a
But
normal weight person.
but
But
I call myself still fat because I'm still overweight. Like, I'm not in my ideal weight. Okay, I'm fat.
yeah,
But my thing is, like, okay, the fact that we are fat, first of all, come up with a better roast. Like, I want something
yeah.
original. Like, if you're going to call me something, you have to be original because I want to laugh at it. I'm so disappointed in
Mhm.
his roasting. So that's the first thing. I expected more. I'm disappointed that's why I don't watch his content, because I'm disappointed on his roasting. It's weak.
What content?
Exactly. Second of all, you
Look, I
can't
mean, I
change.
said it before. He got mad, but he doesn't have content.
But this is the thing. To be honest with you, my page is completely public. My Instagram is completely public. I posted I've been posting since 2016 my whole weight loss journey. There was a point in my
Mm.
life where I was extremely unhealthy, at a very unhealthy weight. And I started, being more self-aware about it. And I've had my ups and downs, and
Okay.
I have posted the whole thing, even my stretch marks, my
Oh,
fat
wow.
rolls and whatnot. So, when you have a person that's
Wow.
literally constantly sharing about this stuff, that you really don't have to announce to the world that they're fat, or they already did it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, you're
Yeah.
like literally 5 years
Yeah.
late to that, bro. Like, the world knew in 2016 I was fat. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
They're
just,
they're late to the party. They're late to
yeah.
the
I'm like,
party.
damn, bro. Like,
Fat is beautiful.
that's so crazy, though.
Man, that's the other thing. I can't. What was it? Tom Hanks in his SNL skit said it best. What could he was playing Jeopardy or something like that. What could a skinny woman do for me? And like he rang the thing. He was like
Black Jeopardy. Yeah.
yeah, that joint. And he rang the thing. He said, absolutely nothing. Wait, not a goddamn thing.
Well, hell, she can't
Like, nah,
cook.
man, it's her.
No,
You know?
but
No,
I
I don't
think he
deal with
called
like
you
all
fat
this
too.
skinny bitches. I can't do it. Oh
Did
man.
you remember when he called you? He called Radical fat. He called you
Yeah, he
fat.
called everybody
me
fat. We're all fat.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, we're
I'm
all
fat
that's
because
not like
I
the
smack my lips
only.
when I talk. Yeah, I smack my lips when I talk, so I'm fat.
Literally, bro,
I breathe hard for some reason.
Look, I came from the beach that day when you were explaining his roast. And I was cracking up to the fact that you were like, how can you tell my size by the oh my god, and then how can you tell like if I'm fat by the way I move my
The
mouth?
girl from the Gap, yeah.
Yeah.
That. No, I thought you meant the analogy I made, because there was a girl in the Gap who thought, yeah, she was like, she was like, I can tell what he's packing by how much water hits the toilet bowl. Really now?
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, Tank. I was working at the Gap, and one of our supervisors. She used to. I mean, that's a lawsuit, but I'll put that aside. She used to hang outside the
You see,
bathroom
that's the problem
door.
with y'all. That's the problem with
That's
y'all.
creepy, man.
Yeah, that is
Don't-
fucking creepy.
You guys need to
Yeah.
document this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry because I know men don't like bitching. I know that. I know it sucks. But you guys are going to need to play the same role.
Yeah, play the
women
game.
Are playing. Yeah, play
Mhm.
the game. Play to win. Because I can
Yep.
guarantee you that I just gave you an example of double standards and a lot of
Yeah.
sexual perversion on the woman's side when it comes to superhero males versus the woman. Now all of a sudden
Mhm.
Wonder Woman has a skirt when she used to be on a panty, but you have Aquaman and Thor more naked every time.
I'm-
So
Yeah.
it's
I remember.
it's crazy, but document this shit.
Yeah.
Like whenever you get like sexual harassment, just
Yep.
document it.
That could have been a
Well-
lawsuit.
Yeah, because
Well,
that's how they say. They say, I'm sorry to cut you.
Oh,
Terry,
it's okay.
but that's
Go ahead.
that's how they say eventually. Like, oh, you see, we have more millions of complaints, and males barely have because women are
Yeah.
wonderful and innocent. No, make those millions
Yeah.
of complaints as well. I am so sorry, bitches. You guys are perverts too.
They made an experiment where first it was the guys, and they put a cell phone, and I mean it wasn't anything high tech. Anybody can do it, right? You put your cell phone in your back pocket with the camera hole on the outside, and then you walk and see how many guys take a look down at your butt, right? And the camera will record, oh, he glanced down. So guys were being called pervs and all kinds of stuff. Then a guy did the same thing, but he put it in his front, right? And how many? I mean, the amount of sheer volume of women that he caught, glancing down at his package, like that was eye opening.
Yeah,
was eye-opening.
because it's just bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I went to this one party while I was in the Army. I was on leave, and I went to this one party where basically I was treated like a piece of meat by all the girls there. Like they would have me bend over like about 45 degrees, right, at a slight angle, and then they would set a Coke can on my butt. I got a big old butt. Yeah, my friend Deanna calls it the triple B. It's the black boy booty. It's evidence of my blackness.
The black wet booty.
It's my black boy booty. It's a triple B. That's the size of my butt. And like they're all like grabbing on me and filling me up and whatnot because I'm in shape, and I lift heavy things, so I'm not a small guy. And like they're all joking about running a train on me and stuff like. But you swap the genders in that, and all of a sudden that is grossly inappropriate, even if the other person is enjoying the intention. I like the attention. That was fun.
Because men don't have the time to go bitching about things.
Yeah,
No. And they don't like that. It's like I said with the complaints. I know you guys don't like bitching about stuff that happens to you. You want to keep it moving, but you are going to have to. It's like I posted the other day on my Instagram something just to ask the question. There was this Gaston character on Disneyland. I don't know if you saw it, bro, Tab. This lady comes up to him on the Disney amusement park, and she grabs immediately his pecs and starts flirting with him. And he's like, go away, go away, go away. Like he started
Mhm.
denouncing it and yelling at her. So she has to go away. And I'm like, imagine now if it's a dude doing that to Cinderella.
Yeah.
You know, he would
Yeah,
have been fired,
like
canceled. That would have gone viral in the
yeah,
nation.
and Sue, there'd be what do you call it? There'd be litigation, right?
He would be no,
Where a
he will
judge
have braids. He would have been in jail with braids and a tattoo already. Okay,
braids in the tattoo.
I'm just keeping it
That's
real.
oddly specific, Denise.
Braids, a
Oh, God.
tattoo, and his pants hanging around his
Yeah,
buttocks,
right? And some
Yeah.
piercings and
holding on to somebody's belt loop.
oh god, it's oddly specific. Hold on to somebody's belt loop.
Look,
Hold on to my
I've
belt.
I have looked at the double standard close enough after I started taking more medicine for my toxic masculinity as a woman. And to be honest with you, it's like the same thing with circumcision, for example. You look at women today, and there's a lot of dudes that their mothers decided, I don't want to mutilate my son's sexual organ. And there's
Yeah.
a lot of women that are like, oh, like I don't
Mhm.
want a guy that's not circumcised. And I'm like, how would you feel if a guy says, I don't want a woman that has a clit?
Yep.
Because
Yeah, you're
literally,
right.
Yeah.
come on, like let's just keep it real. You're demanding that men, in order for you to be with them, you want them to have a mutilated sexual organ. Like, how the fuck does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you know the amount of nerve endings are in the foreskin of a penis? And you're demanding that should be
And the
cut off.
risk
You're
a
a
baby
crazy
goes through.
bitch.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like,
the
There are
protective
babies who are
aspects of it.
permanently damaged.
mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, the protective aspect too. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
all
there are
three of
babies who
all
are
three of
permanently damaged from that too.
mhm.
But that's the
all
thing. It's something
Oh,
we
I'm sorry.
need
Go
to
ahead, Tom.
stop.
No, you're good.
Go ahead,
I was
Ted.
gonna
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that all three of my boys, we left, my wife, when she was with her ex-husband, they made a decision like, hey, when they grow up, they can make their own decision as to that.
Yeah.
But until then, we're not gonna take that agency away from them, because it's what it is. It's a form of agency. I don't want to sound like one of
Yeah.
those MGTOW guys, but because I'm definitely
Hey,
not.
sometimes they got listen. Those guys have points. The reason why you
They
don't want to
do.
sound like those guys is because of the shaming campaign that these people have done against those guys. Those guys, the only parts I don't agree with them on is when they go off the deep end, like woman hatred,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah,
so
they
they're like
get all
the ladies gonna hit the wall,
misogynistic.
like
Yeah.
yeah, like they talk about the wall's coming for her. Yeah, the wall comes for everybody. Like you're gonna
Man.
age. Are you gonna turn into George Clooney? So when you hit 60, no, you're not. All right, the wall's coming for your ass too. Like shut the fuck
Man,
up. But
Those guys who
all the
talk
other-
like that.
Mhm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
no,
you.
no, go. The guys who talk
Those
like that,
guys that talk like that, all I gotta say is 5 across the eyes, dude. That's what inspires me. That they inspire me to give them 5 across the eyes.
all across the eyes.
Just powder me. It's about to be
You
a
know?
lesson.
Yeah, but the other things they say when they cover stuff about like I learned a lot from them that I never knew was happening. Like for example, there are a lot of men who want to see their daughters. People keep forgetting that okay, they're mama's boys, but they're daddy's girls too, right? And so
Oh, for sure.
yeah. So like there are all these women who are basically I wouldn't say suing their moms, but basically going at their moms like, where's my dad? He's tried to
Mhm.
contact me so many times. Where's my dad? Right. And so there was a guy who set himself on fire, I think, in a courtroom because I think it's in Canada. So the court was not listening at all. He wants to see his daughter, and they just wouldn't let him. And the mom was playing ping pong with the daughter. Like, oh, you want to see her on Saturday? Ha ha ha! No, you're not. Like all these different things, and he hadn't seen his daughter for a long time. And I think that guy burned himself alive as a form of protest,
That messed
they're both commit. I'm sorry, God.
I was saying that messed up. Well, a father had to go do to see his kids.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so when the MGTOW guys, when they talk about that stuff, it's not. It's a shaming tactic that makes us believe that, and makes us shy away from like, oh, these MGTOW guys don't get no pussy. Okay, if they ain't get no pussy, how they got like two daughters and they can't see the daughters? The fucking storks dropped them off at their front step, right?
Yeah.
So, and the boxer who's making videos about me for no reason at all. He was one of these guys who was making fun of MGTOW. Yeah, because you're the incels. I was like, look, you understand that you're talking about two different groups, right? Incels and MGTOW.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
Two different groups.
It's not the
Yeah.
same. MGTOW's made this choice to go out their own way. You
Mhm.
know,
Well,
it's really what it is.
To be
It's
fair,
men that decided to not be cannon fodder for this whole gynocrats and hyenas that we have out there. It's just that simple.
Gynocracy.
Yeah, it's just that simple.
Mm.
They're like, we're not going to be the tribute,
yeah.
so they ejected themselves from the scene.
Oh yeah.
One of the things. I'm sorry. Were you about to say something, Tank?
No, sir. I was just agreeing.
One of the things that I was actually, give me a second here, what is going on? Oh, that's a video. Give me a second.
Look at the fake muscles.
Taking all the fire, let's go! 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 Down! Sniper!
Those sticks got me more scared than her.
Look, rant incoming in 5, 4, 3, 2. The major problem I have with that scene is, for those of you who are aficionados of history among us, that scene of what happened there. Who is typing with
I'm sorry, that's me.
what is that now?
I'm sorry.
There's
I put on-
something. No, that's fine, sir. There's something
gotta
called
get
a
that-
nomad.
He's got to get that telegram to Albuquerque.
The fuck? That was awesome. That was,
I'm weak.
oh shit. Oh, hold on 1 second.
That was hilarious.
I apologize for that one.
All right. Look, there used to be something called a no man's land, right? And that was specifically in World War II, where due to trench warfare, there would be spaces in between the trenches. One enemy trench on one side and then the other enemy trench on the opposite side. There would be spaces in between where no man could advance. And then machine guns from both sides were trained on that battleground. That's why they called it no man's land. Okay? And the fields and plains of France, who is watching? Terrell, is that you?
What? I don't got nothing on.
Oh, somebody was watching something. The farmlands and fields of France are littered with unmarked graves of men who died. I'm talking thousands of guys who died because their generals were like, look, we need to advance past this trench. And they're like, look, they're like 12 machine guns pointed directly at that patch of dirt right there. You want me to go there? Like, yeah, you need to do it because those are the orders, right? Those men deserve better than to have Wonder Woman make it look like it's nothing, right? That was my major problem with that scene. And that's why when I saw that film, everything else in the film I was kind of okay with. Then it came, I mean, then I reflected on that one. I'm like, these soldiers probably in unmarked graves, their faces blown off from German grenades, or even British or American grenades, because Germans died too, right? And they're tossing and turning in their graves because no one's acknowledged their sacrifice. They didn't make a movie first like, hey, here's a movie about no man's land, where these guys get their recognition of the sacrifices they made in that battlefield. No, we got Wonder Woman first, and that's our
But you know
introduction to
what?
no man. Mhm.
But you know what was my problem with Wonder Woman to begin with?
Mhm.
Her existence and her origins. Like, look at her story. What's the story of her people and her background?
Well, I mean, there's lots of different ones. The writers couldn't settle on one, but
Like,
um,
imagine if you
mhm,
said that she was an Amazonian, right?
yes,
Exactly. So imagine now that the same things that apply for the Amazonian woman, now flip the genders and make it about men. What would men get
mhm,
called if it was men, the ones in the Amazon, doing that to women, and women would not exist in that world that men created, and they will do the same things
yeah,
with reproducing and whatnot? What would men get
hmm,
called if it was on reverse?
yep. In fact, oh, Tank, you've been sharing stuff, and I didn't even see. Give me a second, man. Sorry about that. Um, one of the plot lines that they've, I think, abandoned now because we're in the Me Too era, and it's not that far off from now. I think the plot line was back in 2012, 2010, right? One of the plot lines was that these Amazons would raid a nearby island that had dudes in it, and basically commit rapist behavior on the men, and then they would sail away pregnant, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
If it's men, if it's woman doing it, it's Wonder Woman.
it's
If
yes,
it's
fine.
men doing it, it's Game of Thrones. You know, it's
It's
just how it is.
Oh, that's it. Oh shit, you mentioned Game of Thrones. Okay, with Game of Thrones, the Mary Sue started to try to float out the idea. See, it's all based on convenience. When it's inconvenient, these hyper feminists, they basically shut their mouths. When it's convenient, they won't mess with something they like. They happen to love Game of Thrones for some reason. These hyper feminists over at the the Mary Sue and Salon and all these different places. And when Khal Drogo or whatever, one of these guys who was basically being rough with women on the show, right? They said we have to stop. They made an article saying we have to stop using rapist behavior as a plot point to traumatize women in these shows. Da 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 da. Their own camp came after them and said, "Shut the fuck up. We like Game of Thrones. Criticize everything else.
Yeah,
Leave Game of Thrones alone."
Game of Thrones
um,
is sacred, man. Unless, okay, Game of Thrones season 1 through 6 are sacred. 7 was wonky. 8 was, please shoot me.
eight was, yeah. I don't know what the hell was going
Just
on with
shoot
it.
me already. Just shoot me already.
Uh, on this
Speaking of,
paradise island where we play many binding games, this is considered the safest method of tying a girl's arms. Hurrah! Yes. What size is that woman she's tying up?
Now
Is
imagine
she
that
a fucking
instead of
Nephilim? What the hell's going on here?
now
For
imagine
real.
that instead of Wonder Woman, that's a dude doing that,
Yep.
and it's in
No,
reverse. Now
no,
just
no,
just
but
imagine that.
yeah, but Denise, that time frame, what's that? 1930s tank? What's
Yeah,
that?
It looks like
1930s, 1940s.
1930s and 40s. People were still, people still had, they were good sports, right? Women liked being tied up back then. They would ask, like, there'd be fetishes and stuff. If you look at the old fetish magazines, there'd be like girls tied up. They ask guys to tie them up and stuff like that. And guys would have like whipping fetishes and stuff like that, right? But now everyone's uptight. Okay, so back then that would be okay right there, even if it's a guy that was doing the tying up. In fact, those are male hands tying her up right there, and people liked
Yep.
it. Yeah, everyone bought the comic. Whether they should have or not. If they're like kids or whatever.
I mean,
And
they could buy whatever they want. But the thing is
Yeah.
like, my thing is like, we had a lot of ladies, celebrating and saying a lot of things about 50 Shades of Grey. But then later on, the same people with the same energy condemn all this stuff about torture and binding and all this stuff. I'm like, make up
Yeah,
your
it's
fucking
all about
mind.
Yep, it's all by convenience. Look, it's by convenience and whether it affects them or not. Okay, so here's something.
No, it's
As a
all
black dude,
about if it's rich. It's all about because it's like I said, if Christian Grey was a mechanic, would 50 Shades of Grey
yeah.
still be okay?
No, it wouldn't be.
It's like
All right.
if he was a plumber or a
That'd be a rape
doctor.
charge. That'd be a rape charge.
Yeah,
Right there.
of course. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, if he was like let's say like I don't know, like a dancer, a penniless dancer, would still be okay. Like if it was a painter or a gardener, would still be okay. I don't think so.
Listen. Even if it's somebody who's not poor or a mechanic or anything like that, someone
A real
who's
estate
not
agent could not get away
real
with that.
estate agent, just somebody who's not rich enough, right? Somebody who's not rich enough, like Gian Gomeshi is a Canadian broadcaster. I don't know if he's a broadcaster anymore, but he was a Canadian broadcaster and did a few other things. Like I think he sang in a band somewhere or whatever. And he had a date with a bunch of women. One second. John Gameshi had dates with a bunch of women, and John Gameshi liked to play rough. And it's not like John Gameshi didn't tell them and they didn't know. Everyone thought they were on the same page. But it turns out that a whole bunch of these women were conspiring, and then they basically were led by a woman named Lucy Decotere, who wanted him to herself, right? And she kept on writing letters to him like, I love your hands and all these different things, because he choked her with his hands one time after they had some foreplay or whatever. Dude, that's badass. Who drew this?
That's Alan Alonso, the Howl Comics. He's just an amazing artist.
Holy shit, that's badass.
Yeah.
The dotted one was good too. Can you go back to the dotted one?
Oh yeah, the stipple.
The stipple, yeah, stipples.
Yeah, I did this on
Oh, it's
8.5 by 5 paper.
That is sick. Oh, 5-inch by 8-inch. That is
Yep.
sick, bro.
Thank you.
That is sick.
I love
Zoom
doing
in, zoom in.
stipple.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it takes
check-
a long damn time, homie.
It does, and
Zoom
it
in.
kills your nibs of your pen. Look at
Oh,
this,
yeah.
just dots. It's just
Yeah,
dots.
How many microns you gotta go through, right?
I think I burned through 2 Copic nibs doing this one.
Yeah. Copic fine liners.
Yeah, the multi-liners. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. I would recommend using some rapidographs. Those nibs are a bit more durable, but microns,
Word.
nothing beats a micron, man. Not micron, Copic multi-liners and microns.
They're
You know,
super cheap.
Yeah, and they're super.
They're super cheap. When you if you get the aluminum barreled pens, which they're going to cost a bit of money, but to upkeep them, they're super cheap.
Yeah,
They're super cheap.
man, that's sick. I think if you did but you don't like doing proprietary stuff, right? Because
Yeah,
this
I
would-
like
if you
I like to
did
promote
a
indie
dazzler-
stuff, man.
Okay, ND, gotcha. Because if you did a
Yeah.
dazzler like this, someone would buy it off you.
Mm-hmm.
You do a dazzler like that, kind of like 80s style dazzler, yeah. But yeah, where was I here? What were we talking about? Oh shit, lost my train of thought. But you know what? Let me go back to this real quick. The problem I had with the James Bond movie, No Time to Die. This woman you're seeing on the screen, if anyone's watching this right now, this is mostly for the playback, but if anyone's watching right now, the woman you see on the screen here, spoiler alert, if you're watching this, go see the movie and come back, and catch a playback. Spoiler from this point on. She takes out like a room full of dudes. Bond doesn't do this in the movie. Bond doesn't do this. But this woman in high heels never takes the high heels off. With the high heels on, she kicks this guy clear across the room that you see there. Upwards, too. Not like she kicks him downwards, like she's got the higher ground. She kicks this man upwards.
Yeah.
If this person exists, if this individual exists in this movie, right? I'm not a hater. I'm using common sense. Why even send Bond in there at all? Just let her take care of the shit. He didn't need to do anything. And the black girl in there, she didn't need to do anything too. The black girl has some weight on her, and you can believe that Lashana Lynch, you can believe, I think she went through some training, and I saw video of her doing all that training. She was doing push-ups, squats, she was doing jujitsu, she was doing some parkour stuff, because at one point, yeah, she at one point she puts a hand on a desk and launches her body into a full kick. I thought it was a stunt person. She did it personally. She actually did it because I saw her do it in the stunt room. So Lashana Lynch's character I could believe, but not her on the screen here. This is a supermodel. It's not a soldier, right? But if she can do all this, just have her do the shit. Have her do the rescue, because they sent James Bond to rescue, a whole bunch of people. Not a whole bunch, but not to put spoilers as to who the people are in relation to him. But they sent him to rescue those people and to retrieve some items of importance that can threaten the entire world. Something that important, and you have this girl who can kill like 5-6 guys. Navy SEALs will tell you they're good for like 2 guys. If it's hand-to-hand combat, Navy SEALs will tell you they're good for 2 guys, right?
Yep.
This girl cleared a room for like 5-6 dudes. Have her do the thing, but they didn't.
And
do
I'm gonna
that.
tell you, I'm gonna tell you, brother, that the only Big Mac she's ever had was some dude she met at the club. I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
She could use a sandwich, yo. She could use. The leg she's flashing there has some tone to it, but the rest of her that's not a soldier's build. I would believe those 5 dudes. Look, if
She's
it's 5 dudes,
healthy.
yeah, she's healthy. I ain't gonna. She's not like the usual models you see like on the cover of Vogue or anything like that, like the skeletons. Those women, I'm frightened for them, right?
Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret. Oh my god.
Yeah, those models.
That's like going to a graveyard with beautiful flowers on top.
I fear for a lot of them in terms of organ failure. When you're that thin, your organs start to suffer, right? And then like you suffer organ failure. But this person is just a healthy model. She's not a soldier. If this were Gina Carano, I would believe it. In The Mandalorian, I'll tell you guys this for free. I would take a punch from Conor McGregor before I take one from Gina Carano. She's like, I've seen her fights. I'm not gonna take a punch from Gina Carano. It's just there's
Of
no
course
money.
not.
Yeah, there's no money to pay me.
Like Amanda Nunez. I would
Yeah,
if I was one
all
of those
yeah.
ladies, if I was
Mhm.
one of those ladies, and I'm speaking as a woman, if I see Amanda Nunez coming my way, like, and I'm the champion, I will hand her the belt
Yeah,
myself. Do not
like-
touch me. It's all yours.
Yep.
You know, it's all
Yeah,
yours.
Nunez.
Like, I love my
Yeah,
face.
you know what I'm saying? She destroyed Ronda Rousey, right? That's when she got famous.
She has destroyed so many women.
Mhm.
Didn't she destroy she destroyed Cyborg? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
yeah.
Like, that woman is a dude. That's like
Yeah,
a
well, I
wall
mean-
coming at you.
Look, she trained for it. She's conditioned, which is even more well, not even more important, just as important as the training. Because a lot of people can have the training, but if you don't have the conditioning, you don't have the cardiovascular capacity.
Yeah,
Your bones
look at
aren't
Shevchenko.
dense enough. Yeah, you
Look
know.
at Valentina
Well-
Shevchenko, it's so scary to me, especially when she smiles.
Hmm.
I'm like, after you did that, you oh my God, that's disturbing to me. Like, I mean, I admire her, but come on, like, Valentina Shevchenko is scary to me. That's a woman that I'm scared of. Yeah, she can fuck you up, like,
Yeah,
no matter what. And she doesn't look like,
yeah.
you know, super big type of the Rock muscular type of chick. She's literally like a chick looking chick, and she'll fuck you up.
Yeah, you don't need to look. You don't need to look like that. Most of the Rocks, and a lot of the people who do bodybuilding, because The Rock, even though he does action stuff like WWE and movies and stuff like that, a lot of what he does is bodybuilding too. That's why he's so cut and chiseled. Well, a lot of these guys will tell you who are coming out of the army. The guys who show up ripped like that, they don't last very long. That stuff is like all that muscle striation. Yeah. Oh, you're an army
It's a
guy.
different
You know
training.
this.
It's a different training.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding and being able to endure things are different training. It involves way more cardio than
Mhm.
bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is more like deadlifting and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So it's
yeah.
like two different types of
Yeah,
training.
and
I was going to
So-
say,
so,
I worked in armor. I was an armor crewman, so I used to joke that there's nothing light on the tank. Oh wait, I'm wrong. There's this little L-shaped bracket that only weighs 5 pounds. So we're all bigger than average, and we never passed when it
Mm.
came to the physical test. Like, most of us would not pass the weight. We'd have to get tape measured to make sure that our body mass index
Oh wow.
was within regulations, because we're heavy guys. We're not the type of guys to go run a 6-minute mile. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But we'll deadlift and carry, like, we'll take a 75-pound road wheel and put one on each shoulder, and the metal's digging into your bones, and you don't care
Wow.
because you're tanker tough.
Yep. Yeah. It's a different job. It calls for different conditioning, right?
Oh, and
Yeah.
when the girls came to play with the boys, in Tanker Land, when the Congress and the military leadership put that into works, there was a reality check after they were done with their training. It was a harsh reality check that this is hard work, this is heavy duty stuff, and the ladies that stayed with it, that whether they were wrenches, our mechanics, because we love our wrenches. Without them, we don't go anywhere, because that tank is garbage. It's $3.5 million of garbage.
Wow.
But it's badass at the same time. It's kind of an oxymoron, but still. And the ones that could break track you know, while they're sitting down in the mud because they got to get their foot up on something so they can get the leverage, and they're cranking and they're up to their neck in the mud and they're turning wrenches, they're getting hypothermic. You know, those ladies that stuck it out and who are now, you know, a couple of years ago, they were privates, they were brand new. Now, you know, a few of them have made it to be gunners, they're leaders, they're non-commissioned officers. And those few, they earned respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really earned that respect. And it's hard, though. Most guys wash out of that. Like, in my class, we had 206 people. 59 of us graduated.
Jesus.
Right?
Damn.
That's a hell of a washout rate.
You know what? You know what's crazy? Now that you're saying that, I don't know if you guys saw the news like a few months ago. The first female that got into the Navy SEALs. And I'm like, every time I hear this woman empowerment bullshit, I see those numbers. I'm like, Navy SEALs are supposed to be able to secure, you know, our waters and other stuff that they do, like, you know, but everything mostly comes from the seas, of course. And you have to, the training is so like insane, and it takes such a toll in your body, like just how fit you have to be, that I'm like, only one woman in the whole history of freaking Navy SEALs has gotten into it, and it just happened in 2021. So when this woman talk about being strong and independent, I'm like, imagine if only one woman could defend the seas for America, you know, and they were unsecure until 2021. Like, only one woman doing that job, because if men were to subtract, like if men one day woke up as a collective and say, we're not going to do anything, like we're going to save in 2022 every penny, we're going to act as if we're broke, and in 2023 we're not going to leave our houses, we're not going to do anything for the whole year, you women run the world, how many things will collapse?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. Like, if men were to like organize and do that shit, you know, we're
that's
gonna
not
go
a good idea.
roasted, you know,
Just
to let them have the world.
Let's not do that.
And they gloss over people who actually earn those stripes, so to speak. You know, like the person who had the most confirmed kills out of my company, Alpha Company 18 Cav, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 1st Cavalry Division, was this girl from the sergeant. So this woman from an attached unit from a chemical company. Now, they're not supposed to be combat arms at this time, because this is 2004. This is before there were females in the infantry and in armor, in the combat arms. Those are the only two branches of combat arms. Sorry, artillery, you're combat support. You know, like they're not supposed to see the front line, but the front line was everywhere. And like, and she got those kills in one day by making a tactical decision, taking her unit around to a flanking position and dropped a dime. Dropped a dime on them and just mopped them up. And, you know, we were singing her praises and whatnot. And we had CNN there. We had Dateline there, you know, all this media and stuff. And we're just saying, hey, you need to go interview her. You need to go interview her. And they don't. They go interview this barracks bunny, Remph. For all you that speak, for all of you that speak English, that means a hooer who is a rear echelon motherfucker. Remph. Rear echelon mother.
Okay.
But, you know, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, look at me. I'm so pretty. And, you know, this girl, she's what we call deployment hot. You know, that means that, you know, back in the States, she'd, you know, be average, but while you're deployed overseas, man, if she ain't a 9 or a 10,
you bump her up a few points because you're overseas.
Yeah. She gets bonus points.
Bonus points. Deployment hot.
I'm speaking frankly here. I'm not trying to insult any or step on anybody's feelings or anything of the sort. Just being real here, right?
Like Rebel Wilson. Let's be honest. Like Rebel Wilson, she'd be deployment hot, right? Because she's a regular person. Like it's no shade towards Rebel Wilson. It's just she looks kind of average.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, when you're deployed, your Dixie chicks start looking mighty fine,
right? Billie Eilish, right? She looks Joe average as a motherfucker, right? But over there, she'd probably be like a 10. Speaking of Billie Eilish, she who listens to Billie Eilish here? You guys listen to her music?
Nah.
She annoys the hell out of me. And
yeah, I don't want to say nothing.
I said it in 2018. She's like, to me, I give her. How many years we gave her, baby? 5 years, right? Back then we gave her 5 years. She still has 2 more years before she's like
until she goes into obscurity.
Yeah, she'll go into the further. Yeah, she'll go into the further because her music is annoying.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get her. What's the big deal?
It's to be special. It goes back to the same shit. Everybody wants to be special. Oh, let me put like extra large clothes and be quirky and have green hair like a fucking clown. And let me just do this whispers. And I'm so
like open your mouth, bitch, and sing like.
For real. Hey, look at that name tag Devilade. That's what I'm talking about. Name tag Devilade. Hey, that's my old unit right there on it on the patch on his left shoulder. That's for his cavalry division right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's my old alma mater, so to speak.
It's alma mater. But yeah, so I don't get the Billie Eilish thing. Because every week or so, when I rock with Twitter, I'm about to get back on Twitter because I'm messing with my money but not being on there. But every 2 weeks or so on Twitter, Billie Eilish pops up, some new thing, like she lost a toenail or something like that, and she had a whole Instagram thing about it, like, oh, my whole foot is damaged and I can't go on stage and dance and blah 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 blah. I'm like, who is this?
Wow. Kobe Bryant playing with broken wrists and stuff,
exactly.
and smashing records.
and no, not only that, Michael Jordan. Remember when he had that foot that was like fucked up, and he had a championship to win?
That's why he still lives to this day,
guys.
Yes.
Okay, look.
But Billie Eilish
I don't know how
have
much
a toenail. She can do shit.
No. Let's be fair. That stuff can get painful too, I imagine. And we don't know how much pain she was in. However, my point was like, he's like, okay, yeah, because Beyonce takes whole tumbles downstairs. You guys seen this? Beyonce took a tumble down the stairs,
and continued to dance,
and just kept on going like ain't nothing happened. Like,
the show.
I forget when it happened. Yeah, I was watching. I was like, did this just happen?
I'm telling you, Roger, this is the glass.
Was this a glitch in the Matrix?
Yeah, this is the glass generation where everything makes me trigger.
Yeah.
Everything is like being. I'm sensitive and a whiny baby and like a wimpy kid. Like I can't continue in this world because my nails don't look right. And the bitch that did them put the acrylic in a rude way and didn't call me by all the names that I identify by. And
they called me by my old.
She needs to educate herself. She's so disgusting. I can't take it anymore. This fucking disgusting world where people are so rude.
Yeah,
no. This fucking generation, man. I hate it.
Billie Eilish, I give her 10 years until she's like, showcasing with Belle Biv DeVoe and Tony over at the Morongo Hotel and Casino.
What the fuck?
I'm even surprised.
But those guys are classics, though.
Hey,
Tony,
I
Tony,
love them,
Tony.
but nobody remembers them. I love them,
Yeah,
but
no one
you know,
remembers them.
it's
Well, I
one of
mean,
those
well,
things
the
you
thing
had to
is, it's
be
been a
there.
while. Yeah, but the
Yeah.
thing is that it's been a while for them. But with
That
Billie Eilish,
girl
I
is
don't. I just don't see the talent.
poison.
I'm not hating either. It's just I don't see it. She whispers
Yeah.
all her words and shit.
That's what I said.
Because
And it's like the same thing with Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga can't sing, actually, in my
well, I
opinion.
mean, at
But
least
the thing is,
listen.
like, my thing is
At
like
least Lady
the
Gaga.
whole Mother Monster, the whole Judas Alejandro
Yeah.
type of shit. I'm
Listen.
like, bitch, please just use your voice.
Okay, look. Here's the thing, D. At the very least, though, Lady Gaga got some bangers. Like she got some good ass songs. I
Yeah.
can't, and they're memorable. Like Alejandro, it's memorable.
Yeah.
The Don't Son, but she's psycho. Wait. She's
No,
pretty, but she's
Bad
psycho.
Romance. Yeah, I love Lady Gaga.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Sweet
I
but a
listen to
Yeah.
psycho.
Alejandro,
Well,
and I rock with Judas even. To me, it's super
yeah.
happy, and that should
Those
be a
things
table.
you
But
remember those songs. Mhm.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, you
Lady
remember those
Gaga.
songs.
It
I
was
can't.
hard to miss, especially when she dressed with like meat shit and all that stuff. Like it was hard to not see her.
But with
But
Billie
that's what it
Eilish,
goes to show.
what song?
She's nowhere near that famous anymore, or like even relevant.
Mhm.
Nowhere near today. Not
Like,
even with an Oscar under her belt.
Well, she's an
but I mean,
aristocrat,
now
anyways.
she's an aristocrat. Who?
Oh, she's
Billie Eilish.
no. Well, I don't know about Billie Eilish. I was thinking
Oh, you
Lady
mean?
Gaga.
Oh, you
She's an
mean Lady Gaga?
aristocrat. Yeah, she's a rich bitch. I mean,
Mm.
no offense, but
Well,
she a rich
they're,
bitch.
well, they're all rich over there. But
Well, she
the
was rich
whole
before
thing is,
music.
she was rich before music. Because
Oh yeah, no,
she
she's
the
an
other thing
aristocrat.
is,
She's
Her
upper
dad
class.
was a producer of I don't know what freaking network. Her dad
Yeah.
had money. They were not like
Yeah.
broke and living in Harlem or nothing like that. Like
yeah, yeah. The rags to riches myth. The rags to riches myth is what it is. It's a myth. These people,
Yeah.
like when Arnold said, "I came here with nothing but $50 in my." No, you didn't, Arnold. No, you didn't. You came here with $50 in your pocket and connections.
Yep.
So Lou Ferrigno let you sleep on his couch.
Dude.
Paul Newman hooked you up with hey, I'm doing a cowboy. I forgot what major Western star. It was Paul Newman or one of these people. They knew your father's friend or whatever when they came back from World War II, and they knew your dad. Blah 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 blah. They hooked you up with a job. The guy's doing a Western, and then you came in there and punched a horse or whatever the hell happened, right?
Well, we can't forget Hercules in New York, where Arnold's English
Yeah,
was so bad that they dubbed over him with Leonard
They
Nimoy.
dubbed- Oh, that was Leonard Nimoy.
I am Hercules. Yeah, that was Leonard Nimoy,
Oh,
brother.
oh my god.
Yeah, they dubbed over him with Spock.
I am Hercules.
Oh, that's the shit. What the hell?
Oh Lord.
It's like bad kung fu dubbing too. Like,
shit.
aha! I see your kung
So
fu
that's-
is as
it's
strong
a
as
rags to
mine.
riches story. It's a bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
That's rare. It's so
a
rare.
bullshit story. That rags to riches thing. One guy I might believe is a rags to riches story is the guy who the Boondocks made fun of him, call him gay, all kinds of shit. I forgot his name now. Tyler Perry. Tyler
Yeah.
Perry. Yeah, he legit slept in his car,
Mhm.
and went to churches for free food, like to eat lunch and stuff like that. So that I can believe. Who else? The Harry
Singer
Potter lady.
songwriter
She's-
Jewel, J.K.
Jewel,
Rowling.
yeah. Yeah, J.K. Rowling.
Singer songwriter Jewel. Yeah.
Yeah, Jewel sold CDs in the back of a trunk, right?
Marcy Gray.
No, Macy Gray. Macy Gray is a
Macy
rap
Gray.
singer?
Macy Gray, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She was homeless.
That is
I don't
true.
even.
That is
She
true.
sound like a homeless,
She
homeless
even
bitch.
looks sometimes like it. Have you seen
You
her
Sometimes,
sound
most
like a party
videos?
although,
girl. Yeah.
look when she clean up, I ain't gonna lie, she hot when she cleans up. But
Seconded.
the whole thing is, first time I ever heard anything she sang, I thought it was an old Eartha Kitt kind of lady. I thought it was an old woman.
Yeah.
And I was like, isn't that nice? They went and they must have got some old blues singing lady from like a lounge, and she got a big break. Ain't that nice? You know, it's never too late to earn a career. I know it was a young girl. I thought it was an old blues lady.
But to be honest with
Gotta
you,
say goodbye.
yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, go
that
ahead.
whole rhetoric of rags to
Rax
riches,
Riches?
it basically, to be honest with you, it just defeat the whole notion of the American dream. That's the biggest marketing tool for America.
Mm,
And to be honest with you, what people fail to say is like, yeah, it can happen. America is not the land of the free, precisely, it's the land of opportunity. Uh,
yeah.
Especially when you come from
Yep.
wherever else in the world. So, what they fail to tell a lot
Hmm.
of immigrants or people from the outside looking in is that it happens, but it involves also a lot of work, like a lot. And people think that this is just going to happen to
Hmm.
them by just
Oh yeah.
existing and being a regular employee, and it never happens. So you grow disgruntled with the system, and you start saying things that the slow tips will say about America. It's
Yeah.
it's just so weird to me. you know it's just crazy. It's like I think Jose is one of the most disturbed by yeah, like that. Like they will start saying things like,
sorry,
oh, like
sorry,
death.
I couldn't help it.
They were like, death to America. I'm like, no, I don't want America death. Why don't you rather just learn how to prosper and thrive in America? Like, oh, like I hate capitalism because you don't know how to thrive in it. Because if you were
Yeah.
making billions of dollars, you would say, hoorah, fucking capitalism. Everybody buy my shit. So it's I don't know. It's just something that I don't know, man. People
That's
are
it's what you
freaking weird
get.
today.
It's what we
Yeah.
get when we start giving out, trophies for silly things. I'm not against a participation award. That's a signifier that you participated in an event. That's fine, and that's special unto itself. But it's to put it on the same level as the people who score in the top three, the medalers. No, no, man. I don't go around bragging about my honorable mentions. You
Yeah.
know, I go
Yeah, it's
around
like the
bragging about
same
my number
thing.
ones.
It's like the
Yeah,
same
I
shit
don't
with
think
this
there should be a.
whole
Yeah.
it's like the same shit with like, oh, let's like AOC with the tax the rich. I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna say it, and I know people are gonna hate what I'm saying, but to be honest with you, like, what's the purpose of taxing the rich? It's not going to lower your taxes. You're
Mm.
still gonna get taxed. It's just that you're telling me basically that because you are incompetent to become the rich, because you don't want to study enough to understand how money is made in America, which is by selling shit. Uh, you know, you want to tax the people that were intelligent enough to understand that you just have to sell something in America to make money. And to be honest with you, it's also fueled by the incompetent people we have in office that keep taxing us because they want more money. And it's like I've said many times, taxation is theft. Over taxation is theft, because you're basically telling me that you can do better things with my money. And on top of that, like, make giving politicians more money is not going to make them better at their job. Like, if
Yeah,
we, for example, like I posted yesterday, a congresswoman that was saying, oh, like, a lot of women are affected by alopecia, and I'm bald, and I want the system to pay now for women's wigs when they need hair, because it takes a mental toll.
What
Bitch,
the
I
hell?
don't care. Like
Oh.
we are in austerity. We just came out of a lockdown that lasted for 18 months plus. We printed $15 trillion when we were already $23 trillion in debt. We're in $38 trillion in debt. That means in 345 years we will be debt free
That
if we don't take any more loans and if we don't print out any more money. And you're telling me like you want a
Jesus
wig? We
Christ.
can't afford it.
Yeah. Well,
We
and
can't
not
afford hair right now. We
and they're
can't.
and they're trying to
We gotta
pass a
afford the wig.
they're trying to pass a
No.
$3.5 trillion bill right now, which is just gross. When the fact exists that now that we're out of Afghanistan, the money we save can pay for health care for all Americans, even
Mhm.
at the current criminal rates in which we pay for health care. That's how silly it is.
Hmm.
And then they go, no, we need to spend more money. It's just greed, is what it is. And
Yeah.
it takes money out of the economy, takes money out of circulation, which takes money away from the microeconomy, from the mom and pops, from the every person, your person on the street. And it puts it into these wasteful government programs that are not uncommonly just glorified slush funds.
Yeah, it because we keep expanding welfare. Welfare is not a career.
Yeah.
We have to downsize welfare because we can't afford we can't afford it. It's
Well,
it's that simple. Get a fucking job. Like
well,
to be
that's
honest with you, that's supposed to
mhm.
last you or be there for you when you have an emergency.
Word.
It's not supposed to
Mhm.
be you 20 years into welfare. Like, what the fuck is wrong with
Ah.
you?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to keep birthing because you're gonna get extra $1,000 from the government. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know.
Vote for Pedro.
And you know what's crazy? The designer that's right next to her, which is the one that invited her and designed the dress, doesn't pay taxes and evaded taxes.
Mhm.
$140,000 as a matter
I
of
have a
speaking.
question.
Yeah, go
This
ahead.
this woman we're looking at on the right, so she a fashion designer, huh?
Yeah,
She Puerto Rican too, or she's just African American?
I have no idea. This is the first time I've seen her aside from the scandal that broke out with AOC.
Somebody be saying that
Oh.
AOC Cortez, they said she be trying to act like a white woman, and she really don't care much about the Haitians at down on the border.
She don't care about nobody. She cares about AOC. I don't
Yeah,
know if you
No,
guys
she
saw
doesn't.
like the whole force the vote
Yep.
bullshit that she
That's what she
pulled.
cares
Like,
about.
oh, Jimmy Dore is a piece of shit for putting me in the spot with force the vote. No, motherfucker. He literally pointed out the fact that you'd rather be Nancy Pelosi's bitch rather than do something for the people. It's just that simple.
Jimmy Dore
Especially
be
for
blowing
the
up people's
working
spot,
class.
yo.
Yeah, it's literally, the working class, to be honest with you, is the one that's suffering because we're in the middle of, I'm not rich yet, but I'm not poor to qualify for any welfare. So in the middle, in between, these fucking people think that, hey, they can take it because they have no other way out. And they're
Oh
trying
yeah.
to come up. So what they do, they tax us up the ass, and they keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you become an employee. Some people give up and go into the welfare system for 17 years or until they retire. And some people just push harder and become the rich and don't pay taxes. And I can't blame them.
Yeah. Well,
It's just that simple.
I'm just gonna say this, but sales tax is a tax on the poor.
People, like I said, people are just retarded with this whole thing. They want rich money so that they can, because that's another thing with this whole gynocrats and this whole feminazis and stuff. If you're so independent, why welfare is expanded so much for woman shit? Like now you want us to pay for your wigs, bitch? Like, are you serious?
Three
Do I
hundred
get hair
dollars.
plugs?
We're paying for so many things. And before women say I'm misogynist, I say the same shit about Viagra. We can't afford, I get it. Men need to feel
We
confident.
can't afford.
Yeah, I get it. Men need to feel
Yeah, we
confident in
can't
their
afford your
sexual.
erections.
We can afford your erection right now. Like we can afford your prolonged sexual participation. I get it. It's
You
needed, but
know.
you're gonna have to work a little bit more and pay for it yourself. We can afford hair and
Or
erections.
drink, drink some kale to get that blood flow back. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you got to do.
Or go
Saw
Start
natural,
working out.
palmetto. You know,
or go to the
Yeah,
doctor
soft
and
palmetto. You feel me?
have a penile pump. There's so many things you
Yeah,
can
you know.
do. Yeah, like we can afford
Well,
your erection. We can't.
we can't
But
afford
they
your
want,
erection.
yeah. And every time I see this girl, it's like, oh, you know what? Now I found something else I can't afford because I have no man. The government needs to pay for it, and we need
Wow.
the rich men to pay for it. The same men that we're trying to get but insult because they're misogynistic. Let's get their money to
Hmm.
pay for the shit we want. I'm like, how does that shit make sense?
well, yeah. Well,
The only thing the rich can do for me, the only thing the rich can do for me is stop monopolizing industries. I
word.
need them to stop. Yeah, I need them to stop. Know when enough's enough. That's what I need them to do for me. So somebody like AT&T, Warner Brothers, Disney, y'all need to cut that shit out. Know when enough's enough. You don't need to swallow up any more other small companies.
But you
We
know
could have
what's
had way
crazy,
better.
bro? Tech?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's because of competency too. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know, probably I'm too far to like into the capitalism system and whatnot. But like if you're not able to stay competent within the market and foresee things as a business owner, you failed and you have to relearn and start again.
Well,
Because to be honest with you, in America, we don't even have the amount of wealth that, that even either, if it's even or not even distributed, that other people have. Like the real rich and powerful are not in America. Like people forget that we have a prince that
yeah,
has 11 trillion dollars, and there's like a family that has like 68 trillion or something like that. Like the money is over there. Don't get mad
Jesus
because Jeff
Christ.
Bezos has one fucking trillion. We need a dog in the fight. I've said this many times. How do you
No, no,
expect
I
the,
don't. I don't mind about their money.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
but
care about
Denise, I
the
don't mind about their money.
monopoly.
I'm talking about yeah, no, I'm talking about not monopolizing the money either. I'm talking about monopolizing industries where, like, if if you look, there just won't be any industry left if Disney goes around, let's say animation, right? If Disney goes around and owns all the studios now, and even swallows up Warner Brothers, then there's no more industry. It's just Disney.
Word.
No one can
Yep.
compete. Nothing. The art doesn't get better. People may not know the difference because people shop at Walmart all the time now, not knowing that Walmart is killing all the mom and pop shops, right? But
Yeah.
you know, there won't be any more industries. That's my only problem with the rich. They could keep all their money. I don't hate. If you earn $8 trillion, that's all you, baby. I don't hate. But
But how would they swallow? Look, this is the way
mm,
I see it, Rota. The way I see it is like this. If, let's say, for example, I sell cleaning supplies that are eco-friendly, something stupid like that that soccer moms like to buy. And I start here in my
yeah.
neighborhood and
Oh my
whatnot.
God,
And,
it's like hemp cloth.
and yeah, it's made out of,
It's made of
cruelty-free
hemp.
wool. Like the animals did not suffer. Uh, so, and then
Yeah, it's
Walmart
totally
releases.
totally like
Wal-
vegan.
Walmart opens up like right across the street from my store, right? In my neighborhood. I
Yeah.
will go into the Walmart and look into how they are pricing their products, because they realize, hey, let me put a Walmart right in front of her and have like a Walmart line of, cruelty free and all this eco-friendly bullshit, detergents and home shit. I will go in there and find why people will choose. I will go in there as a customer without my feelings attached to myself and analyze, if I'm the customer, what will make me decide Walmart and not my
Well,
store, and correct it.
well,
The problem is that a lot of people, because it's, when you're starting a small business, it's so personal. It's your baby. You're so attached to it that most of the times we take it too personal when we're being evaluated as a product, and by the time we react, it's too late. And that's why you get absorbed as a business, unfortunately, unless you detach yourself from the get-go from your business, and you say, hey, at some point I might fail, this business might close, so I have to prepare
right.
for that day to come. And what I can do is just extend that expiration date as much as I can by staying afloat and thinking 10 steps ahead. And people often fail at that, and that's what they get absorbed and absorbed and absorbed into more. Look at Warner Brothers. They if they wouldn't have continued with the same photography that they got from Harry Potter and translated into every fucking movie they do that's supposed to be a big blockbuster movie, they would have generated trillions of dollars at this point, or at least, I
Mm,
don't know, several. They will have had decent you know box offices. But in reality, they are just recycling the same photography, probably using the same DP motherfucker that they know it doesn't work because it makes their movies
hmm
look fucking boring. And that's what's happened. They're not staying competent.
it's all bleak and almost black and white. Why are they
Yeah,
doing
it's
Well,
that?
it's just it's
what is
insane.
what is a monopoly other than a capitalistic form of authoritarianism?
Oh my god, it is. It is.
You
But
know,
it's not.
they
I'm not saying I'm in
control.
favor. I'm just saying I'm not mad at it, because it just shows that a lot of people don't know how to detach their feelings from their business. And it's something I've always said to Melanated Night. When it comes to business, my heart is for my family. That doesn't have any place in business. And people need to start learning that basic principle. Don't attach your feelings to your product, and do whatever the fuck you have to do to extend the expiration date on your business.
hmm Radical Latino asks, "What are we talking about?" What we're talking about is the fact that Lady Gaga has gone full-on Bond villain, and if we ever want to see Tony Bennett alive again, we must wire $500 billion to a Zurich account, or she'll destroy the moon from her volcano lair.
And steal her Grammy.
She does look like a super villain, doesn't she? Like she would
That
have a
look on her
fucking
face,
air.
like she's up to something
Yeah.
nefarious, man. I mean, look at that. She's like, meh, meh, meh.
She looked like she would talk like Melania. I ain't gonna
She's
front.
gonna
Melania
start
sounds like a super villain.
for
No
real.
disrespect to Melania, but that accent. We must all come together as a nation. I'm like,
No,
okay.
Bond. I
Yeah,
expect
I
you to
miss
die.
Melania. Do you
Yeah,
remember
I'm
the tapes? Do you remember the tapes? Oh, I didn't have time to do the Christmas decoration. Give me a fucking break. I was like, oh my god. Oh, this bitch so
Yeah,
much.
she sound like she's gonna ask Bond for the nuclear launch codes.
Oh my god.
Like
She's
she
Do you expect me to
yo
talk, do you
you-
expect me to talk, Lady Gaga? No, Bond.
Lady
I
Gaga.
expect you to die.
I expect you to die. Yeah. No, wait. What's this guy's name here? Forgot his name.
Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett.
Yeah, I know that because I'm white.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
I don't know who the fuck this is. That's white boy
It's
shit. I
honky.
don't know.
It's
I don't know
honky
who the
shit,
fuck
man.
this-
I'm not good with names, so don't ask me. But to be honest
Yeah.
with you, this whole bullshit with And even if you think about it, Rotem, it ties up to what we're talking about with how masculinity is under siege.
Mm.
Because if you think about like all these things and all this accommodation Olympics that we have to accommodate everybody gets a participation even there's no standards and whatnot. Like it all goes back into that, like because we have a very short supply of competent folks. Now, who's to blame? Oh, the rich and mighty, because nobody likes the rich in America. It's so like crazy to me.
And yet they all want to be rich.
But exactly,
They all
but
wanna
they
be
want to
rich,
be
but nobody
rich
likes it.
in their own way. If they
Yep.
want to be through influencing people, or they want to be rich through their own special story. Like, nobody, everybody's fucking special today. They have something special to share, and I have my voice, and this is my journey, and I'm like, oh my god, like just shut the fuck up. Like nobody cares. It's like a lot of people that have been sharing like how they are depressed. Like I had a
Everybody.
friend. Look, I had a
Yeah.
friend that she had a 17-year-old brother
I have a major pet peeve.
living
Mhm.
with her sister at 17. When he turned 18, her husband was like, yo, you gotta find a job because you live under my roof and I don't provide for grown-ass men. And he said, well, I can't find a job and I don't think I can work because I am traumatized. And I was like, dude, America is traumatized, but we still gotta work.
Yep.
Like everybody has fucking trauma.
Well,
Tell
Everybody
me
hates,
something I don't know.
but what was he
everybody hates
traumatized
the
about?
rich until they become rich.
He was traumatized about his mama's drama. I'm like, everybody has some daddy mommy drama or of some form. Nobody cares. Nobody owes you shit. Like nobody has to understand shit that you're going through. You have to go get shit done. And
Yeah.
that's the problem that we have today. Everybody thinks that they're special,
Yeah.
that their problems are singular, that they need to be heard. Everybody needs a voice. You
Very
don't.
special.
They're not special.
Oh God,
Or,
I hate when they're like, I'm gonna tell
my
my
transition.
story.
Oh,
Oh,
my
I'm
God.
gonna tell my truth.
My
You're
truth.
gonna
Oh
tell
my
your
God,
truth.
that's my truth.
I'm just trying to like tell my truth.
Not
Like
non sequitur.
for me, that's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
Non sequitur. Could you go back to that other picture of AOC where she's making like the crazy face? I got a caption. No, not that one.
That's
The
like
other one.
almost every picture.
Yeah, it was that one right there. I got a caption
That's so
for that,
scary.
and the caption is "Ah!"
She
She
look like
looks
she's
like
gonna be a vampire.
She looks like a bootleg vampire, like a great value vampire.
Like she just spotted somebody who's not pod people.
Great value.
Yeah.
Great value.
Yeah, she looks like a $3 vampire right there. Like
Should have gone to Spirit Halloween.
So
Yes, I like
AOC,
that blue sticker, the Great Value sticker on a coat.
so AOC used to be a waitress. She used to be poor now she middle class, if not higher.
middle
Yeah.
class.
And-
She makes
and
$50,000
mismanaging the
a
money
month.
too, and
Yeah, she makes
mismanaging the money,
$50,000
giving the
a
money
month.
to a boyfriend. How much?
Yeah.
How much per month?
She actually
$15,000 a month.
she wasn't poor. She was middle
we
class.
We caught a pocket watching her right now, but
Oh, yeah,
that's
but-
allowed because
I mean,
she and
she's a
everybody
public
else's
servant.
business, so that's allowed too.
I am sorry,
Yeah.
but they are
She ain't-
public servants. We paid her,
Yeah.
so we are entitled to know how much we pay her. We pay
You're not paying her. You paying her
$50,000 a month.
boyfriend. You ain't see the thing? You paying her boyfriend.
Well, he better do a
did they
better
even
job.
involve that?
Well, he needs to calm the fuck out of her then, because she needs to chill.
Oh, he don't have money? Her boyfriend?
No, her boyfriend. She mismanaged some funds and paid him a whole heap of money. Bought him a whole bunch of shit. with money that was meant for her campaign or something like that. There's a lot of weird
He's
shit
what
went
like
on with her.
we like to refer to his type as a dependopotamus.
But you know what, bro, Ted?
What the fuck?
Mm.
You know
The
something, bro,
Pontiponus.
Ted? Bro, Ted, she don't take corporate money, bro, Ted. She doesn't take corporate money. She takes our money. And that's different. That
Wow.
makes her better.
I can see her
She,
getting into a scandal later on in the future.
Yeah, she's the
yeah.
future Nancy Pelosi. She's the one that's gonna
No,
fuck
but
our
yeah,
kids' asses in the future.
but she's protected though. Like I don't know who's protecting her from all these scandals, but like the thing about the boyfriend, that should have killed her career politically. Like a whole heap of money, you break your boyfriend off some money that's meant for a campaign and stuff like that. But
Well,
that was swept under the rug, and now she's good again. You know?
she's
I, s-
protected because she got the C-19 job.
I
Kids,
suppose
Yeah, that's that too.
People love that.
I
kids.
suppose the Republicans ain't coming after her.
And then she had that
Yeah,
dress for taxing the rich, even though she
tax
will
the
be
rich.
taxing herself.
Oh, I
Kids.
researched.
Yeah, and she's got a dress saying "tax the rich," and the
Tax
dress
Yep.
this
is
ass.
probably
Tax
expensive as
tax
hell.
this ass, because she's the rich.
Yeah,
I
an
researched the
expensive
lady
ass dress.
on the
But you know
right,
that.
the fashion designer. I researched her. She
Mhm.
actually get Canadian. She actually her family there actually from Ghana. She Ghanaian Canadian.
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 Yeah, Canadian. She's Canadian, yo.
Well, from Ghana.
Look,
Down.
I have the news here. It says designer clothes. Let me just bring it up. Hold on, guys. If you guys give me a second, I'll bring it up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll
With
share
the
the screen.
whole,
Just, yeah.
with the whole, oh, tax the rich. I'm like, that's why I don't. And I had one person coming for me because I literally said that she's a freaking hypocrite. Oh, do you know that she was invited and that dress she's gonna donate it after? And I'm like, who gives a shit? That Kim Kardashian could not get a fucking invite to the Met Gala. You know how plugged you have to be? She had to wait for Kanye to invite her there.
Yeah,
So
but okay,
imagine the
there's
connections
something
you
else.
have to be invited. Like, it's not like they're not gonna invite like fucking Paquita la del Barrio to fucking Met Gala. And Paquita la del Barrio has been famous for over 40 fucking years. You have to be really connected to be invited to this shit. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, some people are really stupid.
Drinking them freshly
high
squeezed
society,
babies.
but
I don't know if you can see it, bro. It says designer
drinking freshly
clothing
squeezed
brand.
babies. That's disgusting, dude. Oh,
guys
it's
see it?
gross.
Do you see it, bro?
Uh, I do need to ask some. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Where you at? Got it. Hold on a second. Where's the thing? The button's not appearing yet.
I think you have to take the
second.
layer.
Yeah, I'm taking the bitches off the screen.
Overlay.
The two rich bitches.
Yeah.
The two rich ladies who are talking about tax the rich. Take them off the screen.
Well, and you put up that picture of the DeAntwoord girl, that's another rags to riches. DeAntwoord, I mean, those people were living in like the slums of South Africa.
Yeah, look
I mean,
at this.
they straight up Afrikaans and stuff. Yeah, look at that, man.
In September 19, it says designer clothing brand that devised AOC's tax the rich Met Gala dress doesn't even pay its own taxes. Records show Aurora James firm failed to pay state and federal taxes totaling $130,000. You see the hypocrisy
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what I'm
well, well,
talking about. I'm
well,
like,
now.
you have this dress, and the only reason you're wearing this is because you're in hot water, and like a rat, like the rat you are, you go out and you distract people with the shit they
Hmm.
want to hear. She's
Hmm.
literally the best. She has like the. I want to know who does her PR. Like, it's an amazing PR person,
Wow.
because
Yeah,
people
that is.
really forgot
Uh,
about that.
um.
That's why I said
Yeah,
this
so the
whole problem
distraction
was
of
created by Bill. Yeah, Bill created this
it. Bill
culture of
Clinton.
like, yeah, it's all Bill Clinton's fault.
It's
Let me
all Bill
just,
Clinton.
yeah, let's just throw something at the people that sounds cute. Find it now, and
Mm.
they do it. That's just how it is. Look at how many people was in at peace after a lot of cops started bending the knee after the whole George Floyd situation. I'm like, how is you
Mm.
bending your fucking knees gonna stop people from getting killed in this country? It's just, let's just,
Hmm.
why we don't say better, like, hey, you know what, let's just demilitarize the police. How about that? Let's demilitarize the police. Let
Yep.
the person that, and also let's
Stop.
relax
Because I'm
the.
on some. What's that guy's name? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
let's
I'm,
just,
I'm
for
with you.
example, it's not only
Hello.
demilitarizing the police, it's also giving people the opportunity to carry a concealed weapon. How
Yeah.
about we do that instead of bending the knee? Give me a fucking gun. That's
I,
it.
I'm all for open carry because sword at the hip.
Yeah. The chances of somebody coming at you committing a crime if everybody carries?
Yeah.
It's like I said, like a
Yep.
while ago. I believe at 9 years old or 11 years old in school, you should be taught how to shoot. You should be
Yeah.
start learning how to shoot.
Mm.
So that when you're like 18, you can get your freaking gun, you can get your permit and everything registered in your name, and you know how to fucking defend yourself with a fucking gun. Like, why not?
Yeah.
It's simple. But no,
Mm.
let's bend the knee because it looks so cute. And it will
Yep.
solve all the problems in this nation. Fuck that shit. It's just it's
The thing
retarded.
is, there's something I forget where I read this, but they found out that there was an era. I forget what era, if it was Edwardian or one of those eras where they had the lowest crime rates ever. And one of the reasons why they had the lowest crime rates is, superfluous nonsense people didn't engage in. So if a guy, holy, if a guy has a problem with some other guy over some bullshit, like a bullshit argument, he's gonna have to do some soul searching and figure out if whatever this argument is, as petty as it is worth getting shot over. Because everyone carried like one of those musket things or whatever, those pistols, or they carried a low side, not side sword, rapiers. So whatever this argument is that I'm about to have with this guy, is it worth getting run through by a 4 foot long piece of metal, or is it a thing I could just forget about and be like, hey, you know what, man, live and let live. Let's move on. They found out that, yeah, it was a more polite and more progressive society because people prioritize things more. Now people are getting shot and beat up and killed because no one has priorities. They don't know that the other person's armed, so they don't get to prioritize like, okay, this is some bullshit that I'm about to bring up. Is it worth it? And I think that's very, very true. If we can get more people armed, right? Also, mental health, I think, is also very important because we don't need crazies getting firearms. You know, no more Dylan Roofs and all these people getting firearms. But I don't know. I just thought there'd be something to that, you know. Tank Ferret, you still sharing? Hold on.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I was gonna say this goes back to the whole Bond thing. She ain't like Scalpel Zero, who's armored only in her excellence.
What the hell? What is that back there? What is it? A rucksack she's carrying?
Yeah, she's got a
Full
full
of
ruck,
bullets?
carrying a minigun. Probably ammo pack back there, full battle rattle,
Mm.
as we like to say. All the pouches, all full canteens and whatnot, just showing off the strength of the character.
I like that the
Without
Gatling's barrels are coming out of some sort of mouth.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
pretty
that was
funny.
a fun one. Somebody,
I mean, not
I
for
was
the
like,
people getting shot. Not funny for them, but
right. But
it's,
I was like, I was looking at the design and I was like, I'm gonna draw a shark mouth on there, like a World War II shark mouth.
you know. But yeah, all right. I'm about to wind this down because I still have a long day ahead of me. Believe it or not, of drawing. You know, nice
Mhm.
digital, right? This is digital.
Yeah, this is by Siege. She's a fantastic artist, and I love the work she did on this picture. It's just
Mm,
great. She's
nice.
underrated. Oh,
Siege. Okay. And
yeah,
this is
Siege.
your IP right here.
Yeah, this is all me, baby. That's Scalpel Zero, the
Very nice.
apex predator. A little fan service.
Fan service
Little fan
with
service. Hey,
the fanny for the fans.
hey, they wanted
For
some cheeky artwork, so I took it a little literally.
What's going on with those boots? Are they for like magnetizing, like she could walk on walls?
They're terrible boots, but she loves them. They're just awful. But she loves those boots, and she wears them like all the time, dude. I don't know what's wrong with this with this machine. She ain't right. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. Did you see there was a movie with Stallone, I think, where they had boots that were magnetized or something like that.
Oh yeah,
They
yeah.
were in a prison or something. No, was that with Stallone or was it Face Off with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta?
Oh, I don't recall.
Yeah, I was a kid. I watched that shit. Movies used to be more entertaining back then, in my opinion. Now it's just way too formulaic.
Yeah, it's formulaic, and I agree with Martin Scorsese. It's more of a roller coaster ride than it is. It's like an amusement park ride. It's like, that was fun. I might get back in line and go do it again.
Yeah, but this is
see,
Martin
same boots.
Scorsese. So Martin
Yes.
Scorsese did Goodfellas, right?
Yep, and the Irishman.
That wasn't a roller coaster ride.
But it's a film, though. It actually has a plot. There's meaning and there's subtlety.
Yeah, I
and
can
there's
see that.
nuance. And he didn't say that he didn't like the Marvel movies. He just said they're not, what we would consider academically cinema. They're more like an amusement park. You know what? I cannot disagree with that right there. But you see, same ugly ass boots.
See, the thing is with the Marvel movies, I used to think they were Marvel movies. Now, yeah, those are the same boots. Well, I mean, what functions do they serve? Are they good for wall running?
It's a failed combat boot prototype, is what it is.
Oh,
and since she's a field prototype that field tests prototypes, she kept the boots. She's got the whole stock. She's got like a shipping crate container full of them. So when they get ruined, she's got like her Homer Simpson pants.
A fresh pair.
She got a fresh pair of the ugly ass boots.
I used to think that it was a bunch of Marvel movies, but now I'm keenly aware that it's one movie. Marvel makes one movie.
Yeah, it is.
Marvel makes
it's
one
all
movie
part of the same TV show.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, but what I'm saying is the formula. They know how to make one movie, and they keep making that same movie over and over and over again. The same beats, the same story beats over and over and over. And people eat it up. It's a winning formula. So I respect it. I respect the fact that it's a formula. They found a formula that works, and they're working it. I can respect that. Can you zoom into this one?
Oh yeah,
Nice work you got going on here.
Thank you. See, ugly ass boots. That dude been stabbed with a minigun. What the hell, Bobby?
Oh, what's up? Oh, this is nice, man. Yeah,
Well, guys,
I
I'm
wanted
gonna
you to
bounce
do.
out. I'm gonna bounce out because I have to wake up early.
Yeah, Denise.
But it
Yeah,
was a pleasure,
thanks
bro.
for stopping by.
Thank Terrell.
Oh,
It was a
absolutely.
pleasure to
Pleasure
be
was all mine.
here. Bro,
Great to see you.
I hope to catch you on the next one. I'm back from my vacation.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
Monday I will have like my shows as usual. So I'm also coming back to this
I will be
YouTube
there.
streets. Okay.
Cool.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
we're gonna
thank
get
you.
back on this grind. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
bye guys.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
This is
But
my
yeah.
my own brand, Valkyrie sports
Oh,
apparel.
Valkyrie,
And
go
they're-
for
That's right. Totally not a parody. I swear. Looks around suspiciously.
it. Go for it.
No product placement.
No problem.
And
The,
instead of Alterna Comics, it says Alterna Theater.
Alternative theater.
Yeah.
Will you guys be printing with Alterna? Because they have
I will be. When I do like the pocket comic, what I like to call the pocket comic, your easily affordable run on newsprint.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to be going through Alterna, either published through Alterna if Pete likes it enough.
Yeah.
Publishing Pete Samedi, for all those who don't know, he's an awesome dude. Go look him up. He's a great guy.
Yep. Yes, he is.
Or using the Alterna printing and maybe distribution. Because I love his product. It's great. It's classic newsprint, and it's high quality, man. It's real high quality. Like,
Yeah,
good thing
you wouldn't think that newsprint could get that kind of quality, and I'm shocked. I've seen some of the Alterna comics, and those are very good prints. Like surprisingly competitive.
Yeah.
They compete. Yeah, they manage to compete with more expensive paper, but yet they're affordable newsprint.
Mm-hmm. I love to hide stuff in the background of the pictures that I do.
Yeah, you gotta hook me up with a dice pinup, man.
Yes, Neon Dystopia. I love them. Website
Oh, that's nice.
for all the things dark and cyberpunk. It's a great place to go to. Powerverse is a comics
What's the
brand. It's
Powerverse?
indie comics. Oh, Powerverse
Okay.
is great, man. You should go check it out. Just Google Powerverse. Go into your search engine, type in Powerverse Comics, and you will not be disappointed. They got some good stuff over there, man.
Cool.
And for
that
those
already.
who find it to be significant, it's Black owned and operated. So there's that. Maybe a little reference to some shenanigans up in there. Space Barista, love that comic. It's a good slice of life. Rocket Reds, one of my favorite villains turned hero in DC from DC Comics. Rocket Red.
You say Rocket?
He was the Soviet.
Red?
Yeah, he was
Oh,
like
I
the
thought you said
Soviet
Rocket
Iron
Red.
Man.
For some reason, I heard Rocket Red.
It's Rocket
Yeah.
Red.
For some reason, I heard
This
Rocket
shit's out
Red.
of this world.
Right?
A little nod for the
Yeah.
for people who like the green. You know what I'm saying? Just fun stuff, man. Make comics fun again. Even the serious ones. Like, this is a
Yeah,
dead
'cause,
serious science fiction story that's dark, it's gritty, but it has its moments of levity because you got to have contrast in your storytelling. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But,
you gotta bring. Yeah, 1 second. Let's see. Oh, I like this. Powerverse looks good, man. I'm on their website right now.
Oh, dude, I love them.
So this is a
Huge
black
shout
owned
out.
company.
Yeah,
Oh, that's chess. I know that. I
yeah,
know that IP.
yeah.
I've been looking for that comic too. I wanna collect all of whatever he's got. I want to collect it. Like if
Yeah.
he's got, I don't know how many he made so far. I don't know how many he made so far. I think his name is wow, I forgot his name now. His
Yeah,
name sounds
Powerverse
like
has
a
been
girl's name.
growing. Yeah,
Hold
Powerverse has
on.
been growing, and they deliver quality products, man. It's good. It's good stuff, dude. Huge shout out to the ICC crowd, man. The Independent Creators Connection, run by Terrence Baker.
Mm.
Uh, you know that they're into the comics, man. They love it. So huge shout out to those
Independence
folks.
Creators Crowd.
Independent
What's it called?
Creators Connection.
Independent
Yep. Independent
Independent
Creators
Creators
Connection.
on
And then
Facebook.
there's Yep. And then there's also the Independent Cosplay Connection, which was a spin-off group because we had so many awesome cosplayers out there cosplaying mainstream and indie characters alike. And I love my cosplayers, brother. I love them. That's free real estate. I can't thank them enough. You know, anybody who dresses up like especially indie comics. I will admit I am prejudiced
Mm.
towards independent comics. I love independent comics. I am anti-mainstream guy. I'm done. I'm through. I can't take it anymore.
Mhm.
Get me all Dave Chappelle up in here, you know?
Yeah.
can't stand it.
All right, look, man. Independent Creators Connection now. Oh, I see what. The thing is, every once in a while, I get caught in the trap, and I want to draw like Domino and Spider-Man and stuff like
Right.
that. But you know, yeah, but that's every once in a while. If I, like if you're working out and you have a cheat day, that stuff is kind of like my cheat day. Well,
Word.
my real passion is independent indie stuff. But then every once in a while, someone asks me to draw Captain America, and I can't resist. Stuff like that.
Well,
But,
I
let me
keep
see.
saying I'm going to get back to this next one that's loading up as you see it. This is 3 feet by 4 feet at 600 DPI. That's why it's taking so dang long to load up. It's a big picture.
Wow.
All of
Digital
these
or
digital. All of these are indie characters. Although there's one guy on here that shouldn't be on there anymore. I'm just gonna.
you gonna erase them?
Yeah.
You're gonna remove them
Yeah.
like Stalin, like Stalin did
like-
to Leon Trotsky.
Ballin' like Stalin. That's right. Ballin' like Stalin.
Ballin' like Stalin.
Shot
Or
Colin.
remove them from all the images like Leon Trotsky.
But yeah, all these are indie comic characters. These are specifically characters from Comicsgate.
Okay.
And I love
Oh,
all
I
these
see. I see.
characters.
Company man.
Yep, we got Company Man, we got Shotgun Samurai, we got Nerium's Bonds, we got Star Circuit, Bad Vibes, Tailless, Gun
No
Demon,
Jawbreakers?
and the Siamese. No, dude. Well, in order to get your character drawn in this, you have to come on my show and be interviewed by me.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
We got
yeah,
Cobalt.
Zach wouldn't.
Yeah. Sins of the Fae, Nephilim Squadron funding right now on Indiegogo, Artifice Reanimate. Some of these are live on Indiegogo. You can go get in on this. Ace, Edwin Acevedo's Ace,
Yeah, that's
know?
the Ace.
Zener, Black Tiger. I love John, man. John Hervey, the creator of Black Tiger, man. He's such an awesome dude.
You said Gun
And-
Demon's in there? Gun Demon.
Yeah,
The
Gunny.
Gunny.
Gunny,
Gunny's
he's
in-
down here. Yeah, Gunny's down here, and
There you go.
he's
Chilling with two fine bitches.
the Siamese, Siamese
Siamese twins.
That's right. The werecats, and one of them's kind of werecatting out, and he's like, "Holy moly!" Because Gunny's like he's asexual, so he he doesn't see them as hot chicks. He just goes, "Hey, they're being real
Oh.
friendly to me." He's kind of innocent like that. Got Magic Cop. Got
Oh, Magic
hold
Cop.
on. Yeah, got Magic
Uh,
Cop and Grey Wolf.
You have Crimstone. You gonna put Crimstone in there?
Yeah, I'm. Well, eventually, I'm gonna get him back on the show, man. The
Crimstone.
Diaz brothers, the sexiest boys in all of CG. Dare I say, in all of comics, and that's
In
coming
all
from
of
a straight
indie
guy.
comics.
Yeah, in all of comics. Well, dude, indie comics got better looking dudes in mainstream. All the dudes in mainstream can't put down the donut for 5 minutes to do some sit-ups. Just saying. Chaotic Flux, gorgeous.
They got
gorgeous.
all the Dan slots.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So fat. I just imagine
Dan
jowls
Slott
shaking,
is,
you know.
Dan Slott is a meatball. Yeah, he's a meatball. He's a giant meatball.
Meatballs from the bargain aisle got less fat than him. And it's sad because it's true. They're only 27%.
What the?
Sorry. That is
This
killing
dude, yo.
me. Oh, dude. Oh, man, I need help. Where's Shadow
Yeah, you can't have-
Sentry? I got this.
No, don't make fun of that.
Cogent.
man.
That's his dude's name right here.
He-
Cogent from Shadow Sentry.
Cogent.
Yeah, big old brawler dude. I like them brawler dudes, man. Like Canadian Shield and Cogent, you know, your big brutes. Abbott over here from Company Men, big dude right there. You know, I like those guys. You know, when I grow up, I want to be just like them.
Yeah, I like Abbott.
Yeah, he's a cool.
You know,
one,
Abbott
dude.
reminds me of Guy from X-Force. The only
Yeah,
thing is,
yeah,
Guy
he
from
does.
X-Force. Yeah, but Guy from X-Force looked too goofy for me.
Mhm.
Whenever I read X-Force, I always wanted Guy to be more serious. And apparently, Kimosabi has, you know,
Yeah. Now he's got a good, fun, you know, strong guy archetype there. I like this strong guy archetype. It's a good one if done properly. And the three guys I got up there, they're all wildly different. They're all unique characters. You know?
yeah, sorry, I had to sneeze. Listen,
Oh, you're good.
apparently Kimosabi, Jedi
Mhm.
Jedi mind read my ass and made the exact idea that I was thinking of for Guy. Like, look, what if Guy was a serious bruiser badass, not somebody with a little whatever that little curl is, that little
Mhm.
curling on the front of Guy's. You know, is it Guy or Guido, some shit like that?
Guido. His name's Guy Guido.
Where is Guido? Guy
Yeah.
Guido?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my humble opinion, much like Bill Sienkiewicz and Warlock, the best artist for Guy Guido is Larry Strawman.
Larry
That,
Strowman.
I really love his Guy Guido and his Storm are like, I think they're definitive and they really set what the character should look like.
Mhm. Character defining, man.
Even if they
So-
are
sort of
woke
like-
as hell and idiots, I still
yeah,
got to
he's-
respect the skill.
Yeah, he's Larry Strowman is a you know, kind of special kind of guy, because on one hand it looks like, not even look like, on one hand
Well,
he
good
made
night,
it-
Bro Tap, and everyone
Oh,
else in the bed.
no problem. Terrell, come through again, man. It's been a pleasure having you, man.
We're good
Bye.
seeing you, bro.
Oh yeah, when you be back on?
I'm gonna try to do once a week. Right now I'm doing a lot of drawing, but I'll be uploading drawing videos, and as far as live streams, I'll be trying to do stuff like this, especially as soon as I get my good computer back from the shop. You know, I'll be doing stuff like this. Like, you guys will be arguing about social issues while me and Tank, you know, mess around with drawings like this. You know.
Yeah, look like every other channel be talking about social issues and everything. That's the topic around there.
Yep. And
So,
race, which always end up about race. I'm
yeah, I
shocked
got
we ain't end up talking about race tonight.
well,
That's surprising.
well, when they talk about it, I usually gotta go up there and defend African Americans because I don't like it when they want to talk bad about my people. So,
Yo, that last one was crazy, wasn't it? With those native dudes.
oh
When they,
yeah,
yeah. What was it? That indigenous podcast dude. This nigga was talking crazy. This nigga said the reason why African Americans call themselves India, all these different things for attention. Excuse me. So okay, you want some of that attention then? Can you afford that kind of attention? I mean, how many of y'all still left, indigenous people? Like the 30 of you that are still left. You want some of that attention? We could send it your way. So maybe you can start getting gunned down by police now. So
think
there
they
can be 12 of you left.
Now,
I think they about 4 million in the country.
let's
Oh, there are 12 million in the country?
No, 4 million.
yeah.
Oh, 4 million natives? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought there was way less than that.
I don't know how much because they got some in Canada and South America and Central America and all that. And I don't know what the numbers over there. 'Cause I think their numbers might be much greater. But
Okay. No, I was talking about the. I'm sorry, guy.
But yeah, bro, tell Native Americans they don't have an easy life in America because places like Utah,
Yeah, they don't.
they still get discriminated against and the cops still harass them. And I read about they even have high incarceration rates.
Yeah, they're not having a good time. And then for him to look, they're not having a good time. Black people ain't having a good time. Poor white people are not having a good time. And instead of saying, you know what, everybody, it's only shit on the menu for everybody. Let's try to get through life. Instead of saying that shit, that dude came in with some racist shit. Talk about like black people, sub-Saharan Africans weren't as advanced, let's say. But like yo, we weren't even talking about Africa. That came out of nowhere when he was saying that shit.
Well,
Like we
I
were
know
talking
what
about here.
I know what was going on that live.
Yeah,
It's just
I couldn't understand this dude, man. But yeah, just come through. I'm gonna do more streams, and I'll try to be more fair. You know, because recently, when people come in here and they talk greasy, I kind of show them the door. I'll try to be more fair now and make it more open platform for what do you call that? Free speech, right? So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I loved having you on here, Terrell. You need to stop by.
Word.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm about to shut this down too because I have to get some client stuff done.
I'm gonna say something really controversial. That dude who did that racist podcast needs to get over the fact that the Buffalo Soldiers walked all over his ancestors. All right.
Oh wait, the black
10th Cavalry.
Yeah,
10th Cavalry. Buffalo Soldiers, brother.
Yep.
It's the bad
Buffalo
mamma
Soldiers.
jammas.
Well, part of that is an issue of jealousy. I don't know. I think Terrell picked up on some of that. Like it was all nothing but hate and jealousy, where he didn't like the fact that black people basically get recognition for stuff that they've done in this country. I'm Haitian, so I'm what do you call it? I'm not native black. I'm not American black. I'm Caribbean black, right? So I give respect to American black people for all that advancement they've done for just everybody, not just black people either, right?
Well, I mean, think about this. Like your ancestors rebelled, fought for their freedom, turned against the
Yeah, the
we'll
French.
say established people of color as well,
Yeah,
and
true.
got their independence, and then immediately got screwed over by the powers that be, and
Yes,
the
sir.
country's been destabilized ever since.
Ever since we've been,
Mhm.
we paid reparations all the way up to like 1960s or some crazy shit like that, and we never recovered. We even had to chop off trees. We chopped off massive amounts of trees and sold them to get money, so we can pay off, that reparations to France. And Jennifer Delgado came on TV and said the reasons why Haiti doesn't have any trees is because our children eat them all. Haitian children eat all the trees. That's what she
That's
came on there
sick.
and said.
That's sick.
You know, it's just
Crazy.
Messed up.
I'm thinking how stupid this bitch has to be to imagine that Haitian children are like the Langoliers. If anyone ever saw that Stephen King fucking, so like, is there like a wave of Haitian children and they go through the landscape and just and eat all the trees up?
I
She's
just
really
see this
stupid.
image of this little kid just spinning around, just seems like Tasmanian devil.
You know what I'm saying?
Chopping
That's
trees
one
up. Yeah,
stupid
yeah,
woman.
yeah, yeah.
She is really, really stupid. She is really dumb.
So outrageous, man.
And yeah, she had to apologize for that shit. She's like, oh, I apologize to anyone who I may
Damn
have
straight.
offended. Bitch, you offended common sense. You didn't even offend me. You made it seem like how many children would it take to eat one tree, for example? It's a tree.
Yeah.
What's the name? Jennifer Delgado.
Jennifer Delgado. And she's an obvious black woman, and if you look on the thing, she wrote down that she's Caucasian. Let me
Yeah, I seen
share
that.
the screen real quick before you leave. So you seen that? Yeah. She's like black girl. You could see her edges. Like under her damn wig, you can see her edges.
I doubt because of the last thing she might be Latino and Hispanic.
Yeah, I think I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. She's probably Dominican. She's probably
Dominican.
because
that's
no,
so bad that the guy in the pointy
Tank.
ghost costume. That's so bad that the guy in the pointy ghost costume said, "Damn, that's racist."
What the hell? That's pretty funny. The pointy ghost costume. Like, damn.
Think about that one for a second.
That's
damn. That's messed
look
up,
like
man.
You lean back like whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. He's like, whoa, let's tone that down. He's like he's got like the noose. He's on the horse with the noose in his head.
He's just like, I'm just gonna back out slowly. I don't want to be
we'll
associated with
back out
something so
slowly.
racist.
He turned to Jennifer like, whoa. Why don't we tone that down? But because the thing is, they're really tryhards. They really it's I forget who said this, but there's a difference between genuine racists and then try-hard racists. When you have try-hard racists, they have a lot to prove because they want to prove themselves to other people. So they end up doing a lot of stuff that even genuine racists are like, it's a bit too far. That's I wouldn't have gone in that direction.
Like real, man.
when
I've had a conversation with a genuine boots and braces, red suspenders, red laces.
Oh, skinheads.
Yeah,
those
the
skins.
some neo Yahtzee. I had a conversation with one of them dudes while I was on a bus in Los Angeles. And this dude was fresh out of prison, which is a very racist environment, by the way. That is where racism is grown and bred and nurtured in America more than anywhere else, is in the prison system. But, and he was like, this guy, for as off kilter as he was mentally with his belief system, in my humble opinion, he was astonished with all just how egregiously racist stuff was. And he expected it not to be so. He understood the difference between prison life and the outside world. And when he got to the outside world, he's like, I was not expecting this. Like, I was expecting a lot more Burger King Kids Club and less homogenous, you know? And that it was enough to actually kind of like make him second think his philosophy. I was like, well, that's a good thing. At least, you know, I love happy endings. You know what I'm saying? But dude, some of this stuff, these tryhards, like you're saying, you know, those tryhards. Some of the stuff they say, I'm like, oh my goodness, man, you just made you made the Triple K guy over there blush. He's embarrassed because that was too much for even his sorry ass. And let me emphasize, he's sorry ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. And then they pretend to be a champion. They pretend to be an ally. They pretend to be your friend. And as soon as you don't tote the same line that they tote, you're chopped liver. You're like Larry Elder, gubernatorial candidate for the state of California in the recent failed recall election. You know, I quote, the black face of white supremacy. And it's like, look, man, Larry Elder's a bit too stiff around the collar for my taste. He's too conservative.
Well, y'all have a good night.
Hey, you have a good night, man.
Yep.
You know, he's a little stiff around the collar for my taste. But, you know, to call him something so nasty, like it's nasty to say. That's you know, that's too far. That is too far. I mean, that's messed up. Why? Because he's politically different than you? Sorry.
Tank, I got pulled off my own stream, man.
It's all right, brother. I tried to fill the air.
The guy. Yeah, good looking out. Good looking out. The racist guy got me.
Roger that.
You know what I'm saying? He pulled me off the damn stream.
Dang,
but
man.
But hold on. I was trying to actually get, but oh shit, man. What do you think of EVS and those guys doing these live streams when they should be drawing frog books? A lot of times I see like the live streams they're having, and I'm like, EVS, shouldn't you be drawing? Because I don't know,
brother.
It seems to me like, for me anyway,
you're preaching to the choir. I have missed my last my last 3 pre-scheduled live streams because I was busy working.
Yeah.
And I lost track of time. And by the time I was done, I'm already late. I had a great special guest lineup. Pat Oates, stand-up comedian Pat Oates. You know, funny dude. And I blew it.
Okay.
I blew it. I don't know if I'm ever going to get him on the show. And, you know, that sucks. But I was working behind the scenes. I was, oh, yeah. Let me pop that up. I've got a great one for you, for your watchers here. Something to close out on. Yeah. Oops. Come on.
I do have a question though.
Sure.
I have a question before we say goodbye to the topic that we were discussing when Denise was here with AOC and that Met Gala. That's what they call it, right? The Met Gala.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people who. Let me see if this will actually show up here. Okay. Can you see my share screen?
No, sir. Oh, yeah, you're up.
Whoa,
it goes into infinity. Roger that.
Finally, yeah, it's finally up. Yeah, but here's the thing. All right, so that's the Met Gala. Rihanna wearing the Pope hat and all that. You see all these people here? And
Mm-hmm.
AOC was there with her little dress and all that. This is the
Mm-hmm.
left,
Mm-hmm.
the political left.
Yep.
I have a question. They're the one pushing for the jab, right? For the shoulder
Yep.
jab. And for, you know, kicking people out of conventions for not wearing masks. You see one mask here? You know,
Right.
I'm just asking these questions. These motherfuckers had, I mean, let me
Mm-hmm.
let me compose myself. Where's the mask? Where are the masks? Because these are the same people. Met Gala. These are the same people who want to throw you in jail. Remember that lady who I don't know if she
Mm-hmm.
was in Texas. She had a salon or something like that. And they were like, you can't. And people were going to her salon, and they're like, no, you can't open your salon, whatever, because yeah, but she's losing business. She has a family business, and people want to get. People are tired of looking all grizzly and shit. They look like mountain people because they can't go to the salon to get their hair done or whatever. And she has a family to take care of, and you're not allowing them to do that. You're not allowing businesses to open where people can eat food or anything like that because you're saying, look, we need to stop the spread of this bug. All right, cool. Wear your mask. All right, cool. Even though, all right, there's one girl with a mask. This is the only mask I saw in all these photos I was seeing of this Met Gala. This woman here is the one mask I saw. Let me see if I could bring her up again. All these people, I don't see any 6 feet social distancing. I don't see any of that shit.
Mm-mm.
These two people, Rihanna and this guy here, I forgot what his name is. That's not her date. Is that her husband? Is that her date, dude? These are two people who will go home at the end of the day. He goes to his house. She goes to her house. Where are their masks? See, if they were a husband and wife team, I'd be like, all right, so they're not masked up because why bother? That's redundant. They're in each other's face pretty much all day and all night, right? But
Mm-hmm.
these are, yeah, they're not dating or anything. Where the masks?
Yep.
Okay, Kim and Kanye, both they crazy ass. That they but
And Lil Nas X
I mean, I
revealing
just
to
had
us.
questions.
Lil Nas X revealed to us.
Yeah, Lil Nas X
he
is
revealed to us that he's a Pokemon.
attention addict ass.
Yeah.
He's a damn
He's a
attention addict.
Pokemon. He had 3 forms. Full on Pokemon, dude.
Goofy. This is a goofy.
I want to throw a
Goofy
plush
ass dude,
Pokeball at him.
Who's
I
a
don't wanna
lady
hurt
in
him,
the
I just
middle?
wanna make
She
people
looks
laugh.
like there's a comic book creator called Afua Richardson, and she looks like that. What the fuck? What the hell is he wearing?
Yeah, I don't
Is
know.
that the
Man.
Star Wars thing he's wearing?
Yeah, dude, seriously, the funniest comment I heard about
Feel me?
the funniest comment I heard about
No, because a nigga has because these everybody has masks.
Yeah.
You know? Mhm.
Yeah, the funniest
I'm
comment I
trying to
saw
get
about the Little Nas X. It
Mhm.
was they were like, "This is the worst C-3PO ever." I thought the outfits looked great. You know, I get into the artisticness of that stuff. As an artist, I can appreciate that stuff, but I was like, dude, you're killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we
Yeah.
go. Little time lapse.
I don't connect. Oh, nice, man. Yes, yeah, I want to get back to doing time lapses and digital painting. I have a digital painting to do for Dr. Lore. I don't know what I'm gonna do because this computer ain't supporting my my digital painting. I tried to do that on the stream so I could draw while you guys talk, and I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I'm gonna try to stay up all night and see if I can reallocate some resources to Krita, at least until like the middle of this coming week, because I have some paper coming to me, and I'll use some of that money to get a better system, you know. But other than that, I don't know. I think I'm as soon as I get off here, I'm gonna see what Krita's got in mind for me, you know, because running this and Krita at the same time is not working very well. This is good, man.
Thank you.
You,
This is
you
the
recorded.
this is
You
the
set your Windows desktop to record or
thank
something.
you. This is no, actually, this is a built-in function of Clip Studio Paint.
OBS.
No, just
Oh,
Clip
okay.
Studio Paint. That it records each of your pen strokes, and then you
Okay.
can export it as a little movie file. I think it's MP4 is what it
Movie
exports
file.
as. And yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. But you got to remember to like enable that feature before you start your picture, as I learned the hard way. Because that other big collage I showed y'all, I wanted that
Mm,
one. I wanted that one to like. I wanted to
yeah.
be able to do a
You
time lapse
wanted
of
to do
that,
the
and then
same thing? Oh,
yeah. Now I gotta like, do
that
this.
ain't gonna work because you're already too far deep into
Yeah,
it and you ain't pressed record.
I gotta start a new one,
Yeah,
add
that
all the
happens to me too.
layers, copy it over one at a time, so at least there's like some sequentialness to it, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably another
Well,
reason why I
if you're
haven't
doing
gone back
that,
to working on it.
why don't you do it in a format, a widescreen format? You don't want to do
Yeah,
it in
see,
widescreen format?
I do, but this is box
Cause
art for Blastbot, so
oh,
this
you're
is
doing
the
it for printing.
specific. Yeah, this is for the
Oh, okay.
label and box art for Blastbot, which is an 8-bit video game that's currently in production at Braincage.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be
man.
fun.
That's badass stuff, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, I
But
had fun.
yeah,
It's weird painting digitally.
I'm about to shut this down.
Word.
Shouldn't you be over at the boxer's stream? That boxer who came through here, didn't you have like a crush on him? Go hang out with your boxer friend. It's not that I don't appreciate you being here though, Adore Me. I'm glad to have you. You know, didn't mean to have that to sound like that. That sounded presumptuous. Glad to have you on the stream. Let me rephrase it that.
There
But
you go.
yeah, I'm thankful people stopped through, and most people can watch us on the playback. And I'm about to end this in 5, 4, 3, 2, any day now. And yes, and